anytime you go on the road, it's a special opportunity, especially in that environment.
It's Baker freaking Mayfield. He's the number one difference maker in the NFL.
He's playing with Michael Lynn Evans III, an area code receiver that catches anything in area code. Devontae Davis, he got instincts.
He's basically a true vet here.
He follows right after Devontae Davis. Pressure and he is dropped. Antoine Winfield. Hurts throws and it's intercepted.
You better hold it down. These boys can't mess with us.
Baker Mayfield looking Baker goes toward Godwin. Clock, one touchdown, Tampa Bay.
John White is the back. He'll go airborne and in for the touchdown.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Week 1 MrBucsNation Tampa Bay Buccaneers live reaction game day stream. Week 1 of the NFL season is finally upon us once again. I'm your host, Rhett Matthew. Pleasure to hang out with you guys today. Filling in for my good buddy, James Hill, a.k.a. MrBucsNation. How we doing, folks? Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road taking on the Minnesota Vikings. They start this season with a couple of battles against an NFC North team that is obviously trying to follow up the hype they set for themselves last year. A 13-win team and an offensive unit that they feel is only gotten better since last season. Kirk Cousins still at the helm. Justin Jefferson at wide receiver. Jordan Addison on the other side. How we doing, folks? Daniel, Nathaniel Gay, Willie Beeman, Jacko, Hoffmeister, Chris, Tony, Gaming, Wizard, Andre Johnson. How we doing, folks? It is a pleasure to be back with you. Like I said, my name is Rhett Matthew. I host a podcast called the Cannon Fire Podcast with my good buddy Evan Wanish. And excited to be filling in for my good buddy James Hill, a.k.a. MrBucsNation today. Let me fix this lighting really quick. Hold on, before we go any further. Let's get this set up right. That way you don't got to look at the open door. All of that business. All right. Let's get down to business. We are 13 minutes away from kickoff in Minnesota. Some of the latest Buccaneer updates, by the way. Rookie offensive lineman Cody Mauch and rookie defensive lineman Kalijah Kancey have both been cleared and will be active for today's game against the Minnesota Vikings, which is obviously some great news considering that Kalijah Kancey has been pretty frequently on the injury report these last couple of weeks. He made his way back to practice this last week. And then obviously Cody Mauch on Thursday and Friday, Todd Bowles said he had suffered from back spasms and his status was up in the air. He was a game time decision. So he will play today for Tampa Bay, which again is great news. Where are you guys watching from in the live chat? Donnie says, let me see the hot dog. She'll make an appearance at some point. Maybe she'll be the touchdown dog. But where is everybody watching from? I am at home watching the game in Tampa, Florida. Pleasure to be here live with you guys on the MrBucsNation YouTube channel. Also, just a reminder, if you are watching today and you're looking for some more content after the game, immediately following the end of the game today, I will be live on the Cannon Fire Podcast YouTube channel, myself, my co-host Evan Wanish, and we will be joined by our good buddy Gene Thomas from Buck What You Heard, and we will be taking your calls. That's right. Our phones will be on, and we will be looking forward to hearing your Bucs takes following Week 1's win or loss. Where are you watching the game from? And let me get some score predictions as well. Nathaniel watching the game in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Donnie watching in Topeka, Kansas. Daniel holding it down in the 813. Chris watching in Holiday, Florida. What do you guys have for a score prediction today? I think it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out kind of game, and I think it's just because both of these offenses, it's week one. I think it may take them a little bit of time to get rolling for both teams. Maybe it'll take 3-4 drives for one team, 5, 6, 7 drives for the next. But it's going to take a little bit. And, I think it's going to lead to not a lot of scoring. I truthfully think that it's going to be a 24-21 kind of game, and I hate to sell myself out and say that I picked the Vikings to win this week, but for anyone who wants to take the silver lining in that, I did pick the Vikings to win this week, but every other team that I picked to win this week has lost. I picked Alabama to beat Texas last night. Did not happen. I did pick Colorado to pick Nebraska, but who didn't? Brandon Dixon, Bubba Army in here. What's up, buddy? Thank you for checking it out. Yeah, I work for a radio guy named Bubba the Love Sponge. We will be back on the air tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Eastern. You can watch that on YouTube, or you can listen live on any of the syndicated stations he is on, or BubbaArmyRadio.com. Watching from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Nice. 27-17 Bucs, says Brandon Dixon. Chris says 27-10 Bucs. Donnie says 21-28 our way. Don't see a lot of people expecting the Bucs to put up over 30 points today. That's what I have not seen in the predictions. Bat W watching in Inglewood. Inglewood here. Baker will light up the weak Vikings secondary for 4 touchdowns. I like that prediction. I do like that prediction a lot. I got the cat eating the dog food. Hold on. Hey, that's not your food. It's not his food. He's eating her food. 8 minutes away from kickoff, week 1 of the NFL season. What a time to be alive, man. This is next to Super Bowl Sunday, this is probably the second most important Sunday of the year for me. There's just something in the air. There's something about it. You can feel it when you're driving around, when you just go about your business and you go around town. Watching from Chattanooga, Tennessee. How bad is our team this season? I don't think our team is as bad as a lot of people want to say that it is, to be honest with you guys. With that being said, though, I think, 8 wins for the Bucs this year would be tremendous. And that's what I picked them as. My record prediction for the Bucs this year is 8-9. See if I can get this scoreboard looking a little better for you. It looks kind of wonky where it's at. I think it'll be better when the game actually starts and they update the placing on the scoreboard. Should we go creamsicle hat? We got the creamsicle training camp shirt. I feel like you got to complete the trifecta here. Let's go. I know it's not creamsicle week, but we got the jersey for that one, but we do have the hat. I think you go hat. I wasn't really digging the way my hair was looking today. Still got some bedhead, Hat might be a little big because my hair isn't as long, but we'll make it work. Ties everything together very nicely. We got Matt Ryan in the booth for this one, making his broadcast debut with CBS this week, I believe. I don't think he did any preseason coverage. DF says 49-10 Vikes. Michael says 21-17. I assume Tampa Bay, but another close prediction there. Alex Johnson says, let's go 8-1-3. Another season begins. Always love watching the games with you guys every year. Thank you for hanging out with us, man. Excited for another season. And as you guys have seen, James is back full-time with the channel. I believe next week, the week after that, and even the week after that are going to be James Hill, MrBucsNation, the MrBucsNation, back live on the MrBucsNation YouTube channel doing the game day reaction streams. MK in the house. What's up, Mikey Kelly? How you doing, my friend? Ian Lee tuning in from Los Angeles, California, all the way on the West Coast. Thank you for watching early with us. Right around 10 a.m. over there, if I'm not mistaken. Gaming Wizard, 24-23 Bucs. Close prediction. I like it. Watching from high atop Rattlesnake Mountain, McIntosh County, Indian Country. Backham Boomer. Excuse me. I like it. Can't be an 8-9 record. I see 10 wins starting with the Vikings. We'll see. As we await kickoff, they highlight some players on the broadcast. Mike Evans, of course, being the hottest topic among Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans this last week. Just over 10,000 career receiving yards. The first and only player in NFL history to start his career with 9 straight 1,000-yard receiving seasons. Obviously, the Bucs did not sign him to that long-term extension before the deadline date set by Mike's agent a couple of weeks ago. September 9th has come and gone, and it seems like as of right now, both sides are just going to focus on the season ahead and trying to play some of the best football that they can, Mike Evans included. He knows what's on the line, whether it's a new contract or another team that maybe wants to make an aggressive trade for him before the end of the season and take him to a championship. We'll just have to see how it plays out. But as of right now, as of today, as of week 1, Mike Evans and, of course, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization are just focused on how they can get past Minnesota. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. A lot can happen. I think if the Bucs start 0-8, 0-9, then this is going to be a different conversation. But I think the Bucs obviously want Mike Evans back, and I think they're going to do whatever they possibly can to get Mike Evans back. I really do believe that. We've seen a couple of restructures this last week. Shaq Barrett with a huge restructure, I think freed up $8, $9, $10 million, something like that. I don't have the exact number in front of me. Now, I'm not saying they did all of that to re-sign Mike Evans, but it is obviously steps that are being taken to make another move at some point in the future. And is that move going to be re-signing Mike Evans after allowing him to check out the free agent market, which is what seems like maybe the best course of action for the Bucs right now? I don't know. Just have to wait and see. Ryan Roddy, watching from Athens, Georgia, not overpaying for Sunday ticket. I don't blame you whatsoever. I already pay for YouTube TV, but I live locally, so for now, you know, I don't get too caught up on the price. YouTube TV, honestly, their pricing isn't that bad either. I think it's only $60 or $70 a month. They have different packages you can add, which obviously make it more. Like the sports package, you get all the college channels, so you get tons of college football, or you can get some of the extra out-of-market football channels. Adam Gonzalez, James is at work today for the Tampa Bay Rays. So he is not able to do the game day reaction live stream. I will be hanging out with you for the next couple of hours or so. So apologies for the inconvenience, but hopefully we can still bring you some of the best Bucs coverage on YouTube. Tempe 1D, the Glazers are poor owners. They've bankrupted the world's greatest franchise and made them the worst soccer team for the past 10+ years. Manchester United, they love being average. It's a Bucs life. Basic YouTube TV for $50. It's a waste of money. I'm one of those weirdos that still occasionally likes to watch TV. So, I mean, if you're not one of those people, then I totally understand not wanting to pay for YouTube TV. As far as the Glazers, though, I will agree with you. You know, I think it's going to say a lot on the Glazers if the Bucs just don't buck up and pay Mike Evans the money that I think he has earned. But I have also always heard the counterpoint of, listen, are you going to pay this guy for what he has done or what he can do in the future? And that's what a lot of GMs have to think about when they sign some of these older guys who have been I mean, God, dude, Mike Evans has been a cornerstone of the Bucs offense for almost 10 years. But how much longer can he be that guy? If you sign him to a 4-year deal and next season his knee blows out and he's never the same guy again, are people gonna gripe on Jason Light because he signed Mike Evans, but in signing Mike Evans had to forego Antoine Winfield Jr. to free agency, or worst case scenario, Tristan Wirfs. It's kind of a slippery slope. But I do think I will be incredibly disappointed in the organization if they can't do whatever they possibly can to make it happen for Mike Evans. We are just a few short minutes away from kickoff in Minnesota. Week 1, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. New quarterback Baker Mayfield will make his Buccaneer debut. Dave Canales will make his Buccaneer debut as a play caller. Todd Bowles entering his 4th year in Tampa Bay. 5th year, actually. 5th year. Think about all the guys that came into this team in 2019. Vita Vea still on the team back then. Shaq Barrett in 2019 was fresh off of his monster season. 19.5 sacks, a Buccaneer record holder. Devin White. Levante David. Carlton Davis. Jamel Dean. I think this defense is going to be in a better place than a lot of people expect them to be this week, if I'm being honest with you guys. Yes, they're cheap, and regarding the Glazers, Mike Evans is the franchise. He has been nothing but class. They can work out contract to protect against injury. Light needs help with contracts. I don't know if Light needs help with contracts. I mean, Mike Greenberg has been doing one hell of a job these last couple of seasons making the contracts that they have right now possible. I didn't think Carlton Davis or Jamel Dean were going to stick around in free agency. I didn't even think Levante David was going to stick around in free agency. And then let's not forget about the work that they did after the Super Bowl, keeping that team together. Like they navigated that really well. Is it Mijal? Mijal. I apologize if I mispronounced that, but just re-upped his membership for 32 months. It's finally here. Go Bucs. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Excited for another season of Buccaneers football. Willie Beeman says Evans has done everything that was asked of him. Now, I understand why these guys act like selfish jerks towards these GMs. Yeah, it's hard to sit here and pick a side because both sides are right. Obviously, if you're the Bucs and you're in a team-building position, which they are, you have to take things like this into account. And unfortunately, the Bucs are paying bills for the Super Bowl. It's just where they are, and it's bad timing for Mike Evans, unfortunately. I think Mike Evans deserves the world. Absolutely, I do. But I don't know, man. We shall see. We got a whole season, though. My jaw. Kick is up and away. By the way, the Vikings rocking the throwbacks. Those look pretty sharp on TV, too. Adam, Rhett, do you have a hoodie? I should have a Bucs hoodie in there somewhere. Bucs Nation 31. Hey, Rhett, hope all is well, brother. Go Bucs. Thank you for watching, buddy. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 now. The first snap of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers season. Kirk Cousins out of the shotgun from the 25 with a man in motion. Takes the snap. Inside handoff to his running back, who breaks ahead for about 8 yards. Antoine Winfield is able to bring him down. It'll be 2nd and short. That's Madison with the carry. Alexander Madison, number 2, the running back. TJ Hawkinson at tight end. Just signed that mega deal. Justin Jefferson, of course. Jordan Addison at wide receiver. Play action on 2nd and 3. Cousins, pressure by Winfield. Antoine Winfield off of the blitz. Knocked the shoulder pad right out of Kirk Cousins' jersey on that hit. Forces the incompletion. And a great way to navigate the blitz pickup right there. Got right around Madison, the running back, and just makes a play on the quarterback, just enough to disrupt that pass. 3rd and 3 14:27 left to go in the first quarter. 3rd and short now for Minnesota. Three wide receiver set to the left. Now with a man in motion, Cousins out of the shotgun on 3rd and 3. Takes the snap. Might be false start. And it's going to be a free play as Cousins tries to navigate the pocket, but they'll whistle it dead. False start on the offense, number 75. That's their big offensive lineman, O'Neal. Brian O'Neal, the right tackle. And the right side of that offensive line has been highlighted as a weakness for Minnesota. They got a really good starting left tackle, but their right guard was among the lowest graded last season for his position group. And obviously the mistakes start early for the right tackle, which is not great. So 3rd and 3 becomes 3rd and 7 following the false start. Out of the shotgun, empty backfield. Cousins takes the snap, drops back, has time, fires. Oh, man, Buccaneers were all over that play. Kalijah Cansey with the pressure on Kirk Cousins, who was just cleared as of today, gets the hit on Cousins. And Antoine Winfield, if he wasn't playing for the big hit right there on Justin Jefferson, he probably would have come away with an interception. Great starting drive for this Buccaneers defense. That's what you like to see. The rookie Kalijah Cansey, first-round draft pick out of Pitt. Now on 4th and 7, Minnesota kicks it up. Punt is away. And it's going to be fielded by Devin Tompkins at the 20-yard line. Makes a move and a man miss. He's across the 25, the 30, and he will be brought down at the 33-yard line. So a solid return of 13 yards for Devin Tompkins. And in comes Baker Mayfield and this Buccaneers offense. Folks, this is a new era of Tampa Bay Buccaneers football starting right before our eyes. 2nd-round draft pick Cody Mauch also there at the right guard position, making his Buccaneer debut after popping up with back spasms on the injury report. Robert Hainsey at center, Matt Filer left guard, and Tristan Wirfs left tackle. Out of the shotgun now, Coke Heaft in the game. The man in motion, Baker. Out of the pistol, Rachaad White in the game. Takes the snap, drops back to pass, fires to the right side, and it's going to fall incomplete. Looking for Coke Heaft, but I just don't think he got him. Yeah, Danielle Hunter got his hands up and tipped the ball at the line of scrimmage, so Baker had it out, but just hits the ground. And Danielle Hunter, we talked about him all week on the game preview show. He's a big piece of that defensive line that's going to be bringing the heat for Minnesota. Now under center with a tight end in motion. Rachaad White, the single back. On 2nd and 10, Baker, play action, rolls out, steps up in the pocket, fires to the left side, down the field, and he overthrows Coke Heaft. Coke Heaft ran that wheel route, had himself a little bit of room. Baker just couldn't hit him. So now we'll see what they can dial up on 3rd and 10. Third and 10 now. Offset eye. Baker takes the snap. Pump fakes. Fires to the right. Finds Rachaad White in the flat. And he'll run out of bounds. Pick up maybe 2 yards. But there is a flag on the play. Looks like it'll be holding against Tampa. Luke Gedeke with the holding call there. Penalty declined, so they're just going to punt it away. Here comes the special teams unit. So a couple of short offensive drives to start the game for both teams here. Yeah, Luke Gedeke there on the slow-mo replay, just all over Danielle Hunter, and that's the inexperience factor. If you're a guy like Luke Gedeke and you're facing a premier pass rusher, unfortunately, more times than not, you're going to try and hold and see if the officials will let you get away with it. And they just didn't there. 4th and 8 now. Jake Camarda, second-year punter, kicks this one away, his first of the year. It is fielded around the 12, and the Bucs special teams unit is there immediately. Zion McCollum The second-year corner makes a big play on special teams. Sean Tucker was right there behind him. I see you guys are feeling excited after that offensive series. I mean, if that's indicative for anything that we're going to see the rest of the year, well, you know, you guys know what time it is, but I got to tell you, I don't know. Like I said, my pregame prediction, I think it's going to take a couple drives. I think it's going to take, for the Bucs, it seems like it may take 3 or 4 more drives to really get the momentum that they're looking for. Mike Evans is going to be locked down. You know, like I know people had brought up the other targets we have on this team, and yeah, we have yet to see how they can be brought into the game because O'Keefe has gotten every single target aside from the one catch by Rachaad White, but give it some time. Give it a little bit of time. I'm curious to see what can happen. We don't have a number 2 tight end. Now, that's something that I think maybe hasn't been talked about enough, and that's the age of this tight end room. There's a lot of young position groups on this team, but, I mean, the least amount of experience you have is in that tight end room. You've got Cade Otton, your second-year tight end, who seemingly is your tight end 1. O'Keefe, who is a second-year tight end, seemingly your tight end 2, and he's really not even a big, flashy, pass-catching tight end. And then, of course, you got rookie Payne Durham rounding out the rotation there, and David Wells, I believe, is the 4th tight end, if I'm not mistaken. We're not in preseason anymore. No more scripted drives for Baker. That is true. We're not in preseason anymore, but this offense is probably, say, these first couple of drives, the scripting, probably some of the heaviest we'll see all season, I would think. This is what Canales has been waiting for. You know, he's got to put his big boy play call hat on now. Seems like everybody on social media, even Rick Stroud, is echoing that O'Keefe seems like a primary target for the Bucs, which is an interesting offensive game plan, to say the least. Oh, man. It's all right, guys. Game just started. Let me see if I can update that scoreboard for you. There we go. Hopefully. Oh, there it is. Hopefully that looks a little better on the stream there. Yes, it does. Still 0-0 ball game. Minnesota takes over at their own 13-yard line. Here is an inside handoff to Alexander Madison, who runs right into a Buccaneers linebacker. I cannot tell if that was Devin White or Levante David. I think Levante David. They're both wearing white long sleeves. I can't tell. I think that was Devin White who was there in tackle alley to wrap that one up. Only a 3-yard gain for Minnesota. Ryan Neal, the new starting safety, but a lot of familiar faces on this Buccaneers defense. As you know, Devin White, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, Levante David, Antoine Winfield Jr. Out of the shotgun on 2nd and 7. Cousins looking to throw, fires to the right side, and it is caught. Justin Jefferson makes the acrobatic catch right at the first down marker and breaks a tackle. He'll pick up the necessary yardage to move the chains. With that first-year team captain patch he has on, Carlton Davis was in coverage and kind of just missed the tackle. Levante David had to come up from behind and clean it up there. So 1st and 10, following the quick pitch and catch. Carlton Davis in coverage once again on Justin Jefferson, softening up on the line of scrimmage. They give him some room now. Out of the shotgun, Cousins on 1st and 10 takes the snap. It's going to be an outside handoff. Play action. Finds his running back who runs right into Devin White. It'll be no gain. So kind of a long developing play there. Doesn't get anything at all. 2nd and 10 now. Just under 12 minutes left to go in the first quarter. What a tackle by Devin White. Justin Jefferson now on the other side, playing out of the slot. Empty backfield, Cousins on 2nd and 9. Bucs showing blitz. They do blitz. Takes the snap, pressure coming, fires over the middle, finds Justin Jefferson wide open, who gets around Antoine Winfield Jr., and Ryan Neal makes the catch. It's a big gain of 20 plus for Minnesota as they will move the chains and keep this drive rolling. You know, they were just talking about on the broadcast how you're not going to be able to slow down a player like Justin Jefferson, and that very much is true, but you got to remember where he is on the field at all times, and it looks like he just ran into an empty zone right there. Antoine Winfield was supposed to come downhill just a little bit, and he was a little late to the party there. 2 receptions and 39 yards for Justin Jefferson so far in this game. Interesting point. That was the first play that the Bucs did not have Carlton Davis shadow Justin Jefferson as he is now. Cousins back to pass on 1st and 10, and his running back's just going to drop it out there in the flat. That's Ham, number 30. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. Yeah, interesting point again, as they were saying. That was the first play all day that they did not have Carlton Davis shadowing Justin Jefferson. So the usage of Jefferson is going to be interesting because he's the type of guy that they like to line up everywhere. He's going to be playing slot one game. He's going to be playing, outside the next snap. Cousins back to pass on 2nd and 10. Finds his big tight end for a first down. It's Hawkinson for a pickup of about 12 yards. 1st and 10, Minnesota. And they have certainly got a drive going. Coming up on 10 minutes left to go in the first quarter of this game. Anthony Nelson and Devin White there to make that tackle on the last play. TJ Hawkinson. I formation. Now with a man in motion. Cousins under center on 1st and 10. Bucs showing blitz. They bring the pressure. Play action. Has time. Fires over the middle. Finds Ham. Or I'm sorry, that is Madison, their running back. Gets the check down for about 3-4 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down. Minnesota done a good job on this drive of just dictating the pace of this game, speeding up, slowing down whenever they want, controlling the clock. We saw 2 offensive series to open up the game for both teams that were less than a minute, so this obviously the longest so far today. 2nd and 7 now, jumbo set, single back. Cousins takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. It's an outside run to Alexander Madison, who bullies his way forward, fights through the tacklers, and gets about 7 yards. It'll be 3rd and short. Third and 1 now for the Vikings. Alexander Madison, just a highlight of some of his top days as a starter, 145 yards against the Lions in 2020, 171 against Seattle in 2021. 16 yards so far today. Cousins under center on 3rd and 2, fumbles the snap. And the Buccaneers recover. First turnover of the season. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka comes up with the fumble recovery. Kirk Cousins with the costly error on the snap. And it's Buccaneers football. Man, oh man. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, the Buccaneers defensive lineman who falls on the football. Way to make a play. And it's the first turnover for the Buccaneers defense this season. How about that, folks? On 3rd and 2 from the Bucs 26. So now we will get another look at Baker Mayfield in this Buccaneers offense. Curious to see where they can pick up from, because they didn't do a whole lot their last time out there. That's sure. That's surely something. Adam Gonzalez says, let's run and look for our wide receivers. Getting jiggy with it. Says, run the football. Covina Man says, let's pound the rock. Dave Canales calling the plays, of course. Yeah, interested to see when this run game is going to get involved. It's been a lot of play action so far for Baker. A couple of passes to O'Keefe, but not a lot of Rachaad White aside from that one little dump off that he had. I'd like to see what they can do, even if not Rachaad White. Get Chase Edmonds or Sean Tucker in the game and show us some outside zone. Show us some stuff in the run game that we just have not seen in many years. Many, many years. So let me ask you guys in the chat really quickly before we get back to the action. Running back 2 on the depth chart is Sean Tucker, which may have been a surprise to some people, but a lot of hype coming around the undrafted free agent from Syracuse. Who do you guys think is going to be the running back 2 by the end of the season? Will it be Chase Edmonds? Will it still be Sean Tucker? And how do you think they're going to be used early on in the season here? So they're highlighting Ed Ingram, the right guard, who literally punched the ball. All right, out of the shotgun on 1st and 10. It's an inside handoff to Rachaad White, who shakes a couple of tackles and falls forward for maybe 3 yards. Cody Mauch's helmet fell off, so there's that big, luscious red head of hair. Getting jiggy with it, says Tucker might be number 1. Interesting. That's a hot take. Donnie says Tucker. 2nd and 6 now for the Bucs. Rachaad White in the backfield. Under center is Baker from the 29-yard line. Play clock running. Here's the snap. Pressure coming. Baker fires to the right side. Finds Chris Godwin, who makes the catch and stretches forward for a first down. Yeah, just a quick drop and release to Baker Mayfield on the out route. He gets the arm forward and moves the chains. BucsNation says Edmonds will be 2. Out of the shotgun now, empty backfield. Baker on 1st and 10 takes the snap, looking to pass. Quick pass to the left. It's Chris Godwin on a screen pass. Gets around one defender, but he's wrapped up by a couple of defensive linemen. He'll get a couple of yards there. Four-yard gain on the screen pass there. It is now 2nd and 6. Baker out of the shotgun with Chris Godwin on his hip. Rachaad White to the left side as well. Now Godwin, the man in motion, goes out to the left side. From the 38-yard line, Baker takes the snap, looking to pass, fires over the middle, finds Cade Otton, who makes the catch and fumbles it. Not sure if they're going to rule it incomplete or if it's a fumble recovered by Trey Palmer. I think that will be the case. So Cade Otton makes the catch for the first down and then drops the football on the big hit from the safety. Luckily, Trey Palmer was right there to make the saving dive, and the Bucs will move the chains. Oh, they're going to throw the challenge flag. Kevin O'Connell, head coach for Minnesota, doesn't like what he sees one bit. So they'll take a minute and they'll review this. That was close. Yeah, I don't blame Minnesota for throwing the flag. I thought he was down. So the call on the field is a Tampa Bay completed pass. That is what's being challenged by Minnesota. So we'll head into the review period. Yeah, big catch by Cade Otton, but you got to follow through, man. Trey Palmer just in the nick of time, able to grab that one for Tampa Bay. Interesting point, Jiggy. Very, very close. Could we see a hometown call? I don't know. I was watching more so for where Trey Palmer was on that last replay that I got. But when we come back, we'll get a couple more slow-mo angles of it. I think they're just going to give it to Tampa at this point, to be honest with you. Even Bucs guy says that's not a catch. Tight ends in the NFL have to catch that. It wasn't a catch. I agree with you. DJ Hockey, thank you for doing this. I live up north, so I can't watch the game. Of course, man. No problem. Thank you for being here. I'm glad that some people can still appreciate some classic play-by-play. You know what I mean? I'm no Gene Deckerhoff, but I do what I can. Adam Gonzalez looks incomplete. 1 foot down. I hate to say it. I don't blame you. I do not blame you. It was very, very, very close. Hey, Greg, how you doing, buddy? Go Bucs. For anyone curious, James will be back next week for the game day reaction stream. He is just working for the Tampa Bay Rays today. Could not get out of work, unfortunately. So he's got a baseball-filled day today for week 1 of the NFL season, which honestly, to me, sounds miserable. But don't tell him I told you that. Saeed says, I got the Bucs winning 19-17. Okay. Low-scoring game. They switched NFL Sunday Ticket to YouTube. That's where I'm watching, says Covina, man. I'm glad that they did that. I think that was a good decision. I know a lot of people were upset because it was on, DirecTV for years, but put it on YouTube. More people have YouTube. BucsNation says, throw it to Palmer. He's a speedster. I am curious to see Trey Palmer work his way into this game, obviously with the clutch fumble recovery if the call stands. And they overturned the call. Said the receiver never controlled the ball. It is an incomplete pass, so the Bucs will replay. And Minnesota will not be charged for the timeout. Watching the game on an Amazon Fire Stick, says Willie Beeman. Nice, man. 3rd and 6 now. Looks like an empty backfield for Baker Mayfield. All the players are out there. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin lined up on one side. Trey Palmer, Kate Otten still in the game on the left side. Rachaad White all the way on the outside for Tampa Bay. 3rd down and 6. Otten, the man in motion now. And it is loud in Minnesota, as you can hear. Baker takes the snap. Blitz picked up. Fires deep downfield for Mike Evans. And he cannot make the catch. Mekhi Blackman, the corner who was in coverage there. Yep, they just sent everybody after Baker on that one. Fourth and 6 now. The Bucs going to punt this one away from the 39-yard line. So the positive yardage overturned, and the Bucs will be forced to punt this one away. Fielded at the 20-yard line. That's Cam Gill, who makes the tackle and makes quick work of that return. So here comes Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings offense once again. Saeed, what's up, man? How you doing? Thank you for watching this week. At least you had some time to throw. Yeah, very true. Baker seemingly has had a clean pocket. I don't want to say all day because we've only seen 2 drives, but for more times than not, it doesn't look too bad behind that offensive line. But longevity, consistency are the 2 things that are really going to test this young, inexperienced offensive line, because they can look great in the first quarter. But how are they going to look in the third quarter, week 4, you know? It's going to be an inside handoff to Madison on first down, who bounced off of Vita Vea somehow and picks up a couple of Joe Tryon-Shoyinka brings him down. Sorry, I was trying to listen to what they were saying. 2nd and 7. Cousins single back under center now with a wide receiver in motion. Doesn't like what he sees at the line. He checks into something else. It's going to be a play action rollout. He goes to the right side, finds his tight end, who is wrapped up and dropped by Devin White at the line of scrimmage. Devin White has been a tackling machine so far today. Man, what a tackle. I mean, for the people who know how violent of a tackler Devin White is, this is just some of his finest work here. 3rd and 6 now. Cousins out of the shotgun, tight end in motion. Takes the snap. Pressure coming, and they're going to get to him. It's a strip sack, and the Buccaneers recover. Antoine Winfield Jr. having one hell of an afternoon so far. Surely playing in front of friends and family against the team that his father played for many years, and obviously his homecoming return to Minnesota as he is an alumni of the University of Minnesota. What a play. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka and Antoine Winfield Jr. gets there first to force the fumble and get the recovery. 2 forced fumbles so far for this Buccaneers defense in the first quarter, and they have got great field position on 1st and 10. Here comes Baker out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, pressure coming, steps up, fires to the end zone, and it's overthrown. Looking for Kieft once again. I don't know how Kieft is getting this wide open, but he is leading the team in targets today. And that would have been a touchdown if Baker could have just, put it right on the money. Just a little too high. Oh, man. And that's the inconsistency that we gotta learn to navigate with not having Tom Brady at quarterback. You're going to see some throws like that. 2nd and 10 now, under center and single back. Baker. Inside handoff to Rachaad White. Stutter steps and fights his way forward for about 5 yards. Big 3rd down for the Bucs right here. 3rd and 5. This is the closest they have been to the end zone all day long. Would like nothing more than to convert and get a fresh set of drives right here, this close to the end zone. Rachaad White still in the game. Baker Mayfield out of the shotgun. From the 14-yard line. Pre-snap adjustments. Baker takes the snap. Pressure coming. Steps up. Trying to navigate the pocket, and he's not going to get out of there. He will be brought down as the Vikings pressure too much for the offensive line. Danielle Hunter. Yeah, some low snaps, I got to say, so far. Hainsey not picking up great from where he left off. That's Danielle Hunter working on Luke Gedeke all day long, and it might be a long game for Gedeke. Here's Chase McLaughlin from 36 yards out for the first points of the Buccaneers season. The kick is good. So the Buccaneers now lead this game 3-0 following the forced fumble by Antoine Winfield Jr. So they do get some points, not the touchdown they would have hoped for, but points nonetheless. And now the Bucs have their first lead of the day. Yeah, it gives us some... Hold on one second, guys. So I got to say, the red zone struggles there kind of gives you some shades of what the Bucs were dealing with last year, even though they did have Tom Brady and a bit of a different coaching staff. they still had trouble finding the end zone. They could get to the red zone, but they could not punch it in. And obviously Baker wishing he had that one throw to O'Keefe back. Yeah, defense is playing well. Good point there. J.K. Dobbins, by the way, for fantasy owners, just got a rushing touchdown to the right side from 7 yards out, which means I am winning my fantasy game now 40-31. That is the team that had Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown this week as well. So was hoping to get some stacks off of those guys this season. I know Goff isn't the sexy pick, but he did play well. Showing the slow-mo replay of that Antoine Winfield Jr. strip sack early. Basically came in unblocked, which you love to see. James is working with the Rays today, so he wasn't able to do the game day live stream, but he will be back the next week. He'll be back next week and the following weeks as well. I'm just filling in today. I got to say, I like those sideline hats this year a lot. There was the one that Baker wore in the preseason, which was white with a black lid on it, like a black brim. Yeah, brim. Yeah. That one was sick, but today they have an all-red one with a black, like, patch-ish logo. It's hard to explain. The detail doesn't come in great on the broadcast, but it looks cool. So the Bucs are set to kick this one away following the field goal. Minnesota back deep to receive. It'll be fielded at the 2-yard line. Here's Chandler. It'll be tripped up and dropped by Zion McCollum right around the 10-yard line. So good special teams coverage there. That's Zion McCollum and KJ Britt. The 1-2 punch there in special teams coverage. So far, looking improved from where they were this point last year. Looks like Vikings center Garrett Bradbury is injured and questionable to return. So the interior defensive line or offensive line of Minnesota, which was a weak point, does get weaker. 1st and 10 now. Kirk Cousins empty backfield on the 22-yard line. Takes the snap. Pressure coming. Has time. Fires to the left. Finds his running back. And Carlton Davis, with the help of a couple of other Buccaneers, is able to wrap them up. Levante David and Devin White. C.J. Ham, the running back, number 30, excuse me. It's a gain of 6, 2nd and 4. Second and 4. Madison in the backfield. Cousins under center. It's an I formation. Takes the snap. It's a toss to the left. Has some blockers. Tries to get away from the Bucs tacklers in the backfield. And what a play. He'll pick up about 2-3 yards there, but he should have lost maybe 2 or 3 as well. 3rd and 2. Yeah, that play was just absolutely blown up. Mike Green, Shaq Barrett, Ryan Neal were all back there, and none of them could make the tackle as Madison kept fighting. Now a critical 3rd and 2. 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter of this game. Cousins out of the shotgun. Madison to his left. The Bucs showing blitz, and they will bring the pressure. Cousins back to pass. Finds Madison on the right side, who makes the catch. And Christian Izien from the nickel cornerback spot plays that perfectly and comes up with the big-time stop to force 4th and 2. Sorry, that was Addison with the catch, not Alexander Madison. Excuse me. It was Addison, not Madison. Devin Tompkins back deep to return for Tampa Bay on the punt. His first return was for 13 yards. We'll see if he can improve that on this attempt. And the kick is up and away. Tompkins will field it. He'll let it bounce right around the 20-yard line and then steps out of bounds immediately. Had to get away from the coverage team, so a solid punt from Minnesota, and the Bucs will take over. But there is a late flag. Maybe on Tampa Bay. Holding receiving team number 8. Servassier Dennis, the rookie out there getting some special teams reps, gets caught up with an unwanted penalty. 228 people watching and only 59 likes. Guys, let's get the thumbs up on the stream, huh? If you want to help us out and reach more and more Buccaneer fans week after week, then definitely. Yeah, that is weird. I just realized the scoreboard didn't update. There it is. Sorry about that. That was odd. Yeah, leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more great Buccaneers content. And if you're hanging out with us today and you're going to be hanging out until after the game, we will be live immediately following the game on the Cannon Fire Podcast YouTube channel. It'll be myself, my co-host Evan Wanish, who you guys have also seen on this channel before. We will be joined by our good friend Gene Thomas from Buck What You Heard. That's a Buccaneers podcast that really the OGs know about. He will join us as we take your phone calls on the Cannon Fire hotline, which will be on this week. Hoping to hear your thoughts on the game. Win, lose, or draw, we will be there live following the end of the game. YouTube.com/Cannon Fire Podcast. New season of Survivor, Wednesday, September 27th. Did you guys know James once auditioned to be on Survivor? I won't give away too many details, but you should have him tell you about that sometime in a live stream. Willie, I'm counting on you. Next time you see him in here for game day, ask him about his Survivor audition tape. James is a huge fan of Survivor. Yeah, James loves Survivor. It's like his favorite show on TV. Big love from the Midwest. Can't watch this week until I get my red zone next week. Thanks for the live stream. Thanks for watching, Cisco. Glad you could make it. First and 10 now for Tampa Bay. 1:05 left to go in the first quarter of play. Baker Mayfield will come back out. Greg, no, I'm not messing with you. I wouldn't lie. From their own 10-yard line on first and 10, it's a jumbo set. Baker under center. It's going to be a handoff to Rachaad White, who finds a hole, breaks a tackle, but cannot get past the second wave of tacklers. Man, he could have gotten away with something there, but it'll bring up second and manageable. Bryce Young is stinking it up versus Atlanta right now. Hey, I picked the Panthers to win this week, so like I said at the beginning of the stream, it's just my picks working their magic. Single back look on 2nd and 4 now with a tight end in motion. Baker takes the snap from under center. Another handoff to Rachaad White, who doesn't have the room this time. There was nowhere for him to go. And he'll be brought down for a loss. It'll be 3rd down. Unfortunately, Star Wars Battles, I cannot show you the game. I just have to talk about it because it'll get the channel taken down. I can't rebroadcast any NFL videos. 3rd and 5, and it looks like the Bucs are going to let this quarter wind on down. They will not get a playoff. Robert Hainsey having quite the conversation with the rest of his offensive line. They showed that on the broadcast there, and Hainsey looked a little animated. He didn't look mad, but he looked like he was definitely talking to prove a point there. And that was an interesting perspective to see as now the teams will switch sides and we await the second quarter. They'll take a quick commercial break. I don't like Channel 10's broadcasting and camera work. I got to tell you, I'm not the biggest fan of CBS's broadcast. It doesn't look too bad today, but I do prefer Fox. But I almost prefer like Fox's presentation and CBS's announcers. I don't really like the Fox announcers anymore. Like, they got rid of, well, I mean, like, Chris Myers is still there, but he doesn't really call many Bucs games anymore. I think he only called one last year. So, like, Chris Myers is there, but we don't ever hear him. I don't like Greg Olson on play-by-play or color commentary. I kind of don't. Like, I think he kind of stinks. And then they got, I think, not Kevin Burkhardt. No, not Kevin Burkhardt. Who's the guy that I'm thinking of that calls the games with Greg Olson? I don't really like him that much. I was never the biggest fan of like Mark Schlereth either. What's your take on Mayfield? It's tough to say right now. Like, I definitely want to keep an open mind because it is only week 1. I think it's going to be a tall task for Dave Canales in this offense to really kind of reel him in and get him to the point where he can be a potential franchise quarterback. But I think the ceiling he has would allow for it. But I think a lot would have to go right this season for that to happen. So my take on Baker Mayfield as of right now is he is the dude until he is not. Yeah, we do need a couple of first drives. Just an extended offensive possession here to get the defense off of the field. The defense has looked solid so far. I mean, still pitching a shutout. 0 points for Minnesota so far in this game. Just like last year, the defense keeping the Buccaneers in this game, it would seem. 2-0 in the turnover margin. 2 forced fumbles in the first quarter. You really could not ask for a better performance so far from your defense going up against a Minnesota team that still has a lot of weapons that have yet to be fully utilized. I do like Rondé Barber on the broadcast. I feel like I rarely see him on Fox, but I do like when he's in there as well. 3rd and 5 now. Big third down out of the shotgun for Baker and the Bucs. Baker takes the snap, play action to Rachaad White, who takes the handoff to the left side. So it was not play action. I kind of assumed it was a passing down there, and they would treat it as such. But no, it's an outside handoff to the left side for Rachaad White. 3 straight carries for Rachaad White, and only 4 yards to show for it. It'll be 4th down. You get to see Tristan Wirfs pull and try to set up some blocking lanes, but it just doesn't happen there. 4th and 3 now. Jake Camarda back in this game to punt this thing away. Deep out of their own territory. He's going to need to boom it. Kick is up and away. Man, what a kick. It'll be fielded at the opposite 20-yard line. Zion McCollum cannot make the tackle. And number 4 running wild. That's Powell. Back deep for Minnesota. There is a flag. Holding on the receiving team. It'll be 1st down, but Minnesota going to feel the effects. Jalen Naylor, the young wide receiver, hit with the flag. So here comes Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings offense looking to get some more work done in a game that they trail 3-0. Yeah, Jake Camarda does have one heck of a leg. Austin Schlottman, the backup center for Minnesota, still in the game. So here is Kirk Cousins under center now with a single back. The Bucs showing blitz. They bring the pressure. Cousins gets the pass away to Justin Jefferson far downfield, who makes the catch, and he's finally brought down around the 45-yard line. So a big 20-plus yard gain there yet again from Kirk Cousins to Justin Jefferson. It's a play-action pass. The Bucs were trying to bring in a safety on the left side of Kirk Cousins, and he just gets the ball away. Good protection and not great zone coverage there by Tampa Bay. I formation now with a man in motion as the fullback. It's a toss to the left side to their running back, number 32, who fights his way ahead for maybe a yard. Jamel Dean and Devin White bring him down. Ooh, and Devin White limping away from that tackle. Don't like to see that one bit. He's kind of still on the field trying to make it work, but you can tell he's got a little bit of irritation in what looks like the right foot. Yeah, Devin White going to take a seat now. Grabbing that right quad. So they'll take a quick commercial break. Devin White still down on the field. Tried to fight his way back into the huddle and just seemingly could not do it. He went down and was clutching at the back of his thigh, right around his kneecap. So curious to see what this ends up being, but obviously it doesn't look great right now. Who is the backup to Devin White? I believe it would be KJ Britt who would come in and play. If not KJ Britt, then I believe the rookie Servassier Dennis. And there's one other whose name I cannot remember. Whereas Evan, I don't know, actually. I have not heard from him, but he will be with me live on the Cannon Fire Podcast YouTube channel immediately after the game. JJ Russell, thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. I knew it was something Russell. I was thinking Chappelle Russell, but Chappelle Russell was like a 7th-round pick a couple of years ago. I think he plays in Jacksonville now. No Evan for the game day reaction stream. Maybe he makes an appearance in the 3rd or 4th quarter. Maybe. I don't know if I'm going to have guests on for this stream. But if you tweet at him and you tell him to jump in here, then I bet you he will. Yeah, hopefully Devin White doesn't miss too much time and this doesn't become too much of an issue moving forward as he is playing in a critical contract year. Good point, Greg. Hopefully just some cramps. I mean, Devin White definitely did not get the most preseason reps compared to the other guys on the defense when we go down the depth chart. So it could be just some cramps kind of getting back up to speed. He's obviously been very busy today with a couple of tackles that he has had. Devin White back on the sideline now. Walking under his own weight. KJ Britt will come into the game, but here's a look at Devin White. Makes the tackle, wraps up the legs of the running back, and it looks like the left leg of the running back kind of folded up underneath him, so he should only be out a couple of plays. It looks like KJ Britt in the game. 2nd and 8, play action, quick pass, finds his running back, who gets the first down and more, upended over at the 40-yard line. So another first down conversion for the Minnesota Vikings on a play-action pass. The Bucs brought the safety pressure down again, and if Kirk Cousins didn't throw that ball right when he did, Antoine Winfield would have had probably his 3rd quarterback hit of the day. But now it is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. The 38-yard line, Minnesota in Tampa Bay territory. Cousins under center on 1st and 10. Could be a false start here, but it's an inside handoff, and Logan Hall, with a big play in the backfield, wraps that run up. Forces 2nd and long. There he is, the 2nd-year defensive tackle 2nd and 13 now. Empty backfield. Cousins, quick pass to the right side, finds Hawkinson, but Levante David, guess who, is able to wrap him up and finish that play just as quickly as it started. Man, Levante David tackling another team's tight end in a flat is an image that I will never get tired of seeing. I feel like that's one of his highlight reel moves, you know? Out of the shotgun on 3rd and 11. Cousins back to pass. Fires deep downfield. Finds his receiver wide open in the end zone for a touchdown. That's Jordan Addison, who is on the board for the first touchdown for Minnesota. They will retake the lead. It is now 6-3. So illegal contact against Jamel Dean. That flag will be declined, and it means that Kirk Cousins' touchdown pass to Jordan Addison will stand. Ryan Neal was the last man in coverage and ended up behind Jordan Addison, just could not catch up. They had all three of those wide receivers running on the left side of that field, and that Bucs secondary just fell apart. PAT is up, and it is good, which means we've got a 7-3 ball game in Minnesota, 11:15 left to go in the first half of this football game. Jordan Addison, the first-round pick for the Vikings, finds the end zone in his first regular season NFL game, and Kirk Cousins has got the Vikings feeling good back on top 7-3. Hey, don't go anywhere while we are in a commercial break. I will be right back. I'll talk to you guys in a second.
Anytime you go on the road, it's a special opportunity, especially in that environment.
It's Baker freaking Mayfield. He's the #1 difference maker in the NFL.
He's playing with Michael Lynn Evans III, an area code receiver that catches anything in area code. Levante David, he got instincts.
He's basically the true vet here.
He fumbles a right after Levante David.
Darnold pressure, and he is dropped. Antoine Winfield. Hurts throws, and it's intercepted.
You better hold it down. These boys can't mess with us.
Baker Mayfield looking Baker goes toward Godwin. Caught. Touchdown Tampa Bay.
John White is the backfield goal. Airborne and in for the touchdown.
All right, we're back. Sorry, needed to get a drink of water. I figured that'd be cooler to watch than just an empty chair, you know what I mean? Let's get this scoreboard updated. Normally this thing updated on its own, and now it just doesn't. It used to update on its own in the background, and I guess now it just doesn't anymore? I don't know. So the Vikings honoring the late Bart Grant, who passed away in March, a franchise legend for Minnesota. Hopefully the Bucs can play a little bit of upset today and force a more competitive game here in the second half. 7-3 your score, so obviously a competitive game up until this point. But now the question then becomes, did Minnesota just open the door for what they plan to do the rest of the game? Because that was a coverage breakdown. Ryan Neal on the backside of that for Tampa Bay. Seems like it'll change both things, or it'll change things for both teams and how they approach the rest of this game moving forward. Devin Tompkins will field this one deep out of the Buccaneers end zone. He will get right around the 18-yard line and be forced out of bounds. So not his best decision. Bud Grant, former head coach of the Vikings, again being honored today with the big patch on the throwback uniform. Kind of a cool touch now that they explained what it was. I saw it at first and I assumed it was an ad patch, so I kind of ignored it, but it's a pretty cool feature of the Vikings throwback uniforms they busted out today. Here are Baker and the Bucs on 1st and 10 now, single back. Sean Tucker in the game with his first carry. Breaks a tackle to the left side, finds some room, and fights ahead. A lot of energy in that first carry of the day for the running back 2. Undrafted free agent from Syracuse, Sean Tucker, big number 44. Don't throw it to stone hands. Good stuff, Greg. Bud Grant, Fran Tarkenton, and the Purple People Eaters were very talented. Should have got at least one Super Bowl. I agree, Willie. 2nd and 5 now. Baker under center, single back is Tucker. Takes the snap. Play action, roll out, pressure right there, and he's just got to get rid of that football. Floats it up and over Cade Otton, who was the intended target, and there's a flag on the play. Could be defensive holding here. Kevin O'Sullivan pleading his case. Oh. So they take it back. They throw the flag down, and then they say there's no flag. Everybody ignore what just happened. Would have been defensive holding for the player on Cade Otton, who sure did grab himself a fistful of jersey and slow down the tight end on his route, but I don't know. There's that hometown call we were talking about. If there's got to be one this game, then I suppose that's the one, right? So it's a big 3rd down once again for Tampa Bay. 10:25 left to go in the first half of this football game. Deep out of their own territory, trailing 3-7. Out of the shotgun, Baker Mayfield. Rachaad White back in the game. Baker. Mike Evans, the man in motion. Baker takes the snap. Low snap. Pressure coming. Has time. Trying to navigate out of the pocket, and Baker's going to keep it and run to the right side. Will he break the line of scrimmage? He will, but barely. It'll bring up 4th and 5 for Tampa Bay. So really good protection by the Minnesota Vikings defense right there, and it'll force another 3 and out. Just absolutely nothing so far for the Buccaneers on offense. Jake Camarda back in this game on 4th and 4 to punt this one away. He's had a busy first half for sure. Some of his heaviest workload. The Bucs will take the delay of game penalty. Yeah, that's just a sloppy penalty. I don't even think that was intentional. The Bucs cannot get to the line of scrimmage in time, and that's obviously where the inexperience is going to play a factor. You know, Todd Bowles as a head coach maybe should have seen that coming as well, but that's just execution errors right there on special teams. I don't know how else to put it because it certainly was not intentional. It's another booming kick for Jake Camarda as it takes a bounce around the 30-yard line, and the Bucs will field it at the 31. So that's where Minnesota will take over as Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense come back out on the field. Man, oh man. How are we feeling, folks? I've been reading chat, and obviously a lot of very positive people in there today. But realistically, how are we feeling? About a quarter and a half into the Buccaneers season. DSG Carlos says he's getting left twitch flashbacks. I didn't expect the Bucs to win, but my goodness, I thought it'd be sort of competitive. This season is going bad. At least Camarda is a beast. Mark B says he's not feeling good. Baker is not the answer. Looks like early season jitters and sloppiness, says Christopher. Mayfield hasn't been great, too rash, or else not making decisions. Still in this, though. I agree. Jordan. Brutal as Bucs. Trask needs to start. What's the worst that could happen? We can't move the ball at all. Brandon Tampa fan, 2-15 season on the way. Oh, no. Young O-line is bleeding out there. Not that good. Still optimistic. Just need to get something going on offense. Jacko says Byron Leftwich. Offense sucks, says Bucs guy. Timothy Bigelow says, man, this is kind of sad. Bring in Trask. Trask not fixing this sinking ship. I'm sure we all feel like we are doomed, but hey, it is early in the season. I feel good about the 2024 draft. Thank God the defense is good. I just want to see some fire in the offense. Still a lot of game to play. 30 total yards, terrible. Mayfield, 3 for 9. It's going to take time. Be patient. All these people that are couch GM head coaches getting angry when you haven't played a down of football. Edwin says the offense just needs time to gel. No Cats. Let Baker call his own plays. The coaches stink. Bucs still got this, says Jackson. Jacko is sorry for the defense. All these 3-and-outs are going to kill the defense. Yeah, you got to sustain some longer drives. Listen, if you're not going to come up with any points, then I suppose that's fine, but at least take a little bit of time off of the clock and give your defense some time to refresh. It is a 4-part game and everyone giving up. That is a good point. We are barely into the second quarter, and it's a 3-7 game. It's not even a touchdown that separates these two teams right now. So let's get another look at this solid Buccaneers defense, although they gave up the touchdown on that last drive. 2 forced fumbles in that first quarter of play, and now they'll get another crack at it. Devin White back in the game at linebacker. Play action on 1st and 10 for Kirk Cousins. Has time, pressure coming, and he finds his wide receiver at the 50-yard line. Jamel Dean brings him down, but it's a first down and much more yet again for Minnesota. This pass game starting to warm up and make it look easy. That's KJ Osborne, the wide receiver 3 for Minnesota with a huge play there. Shaq Barrett was maybe a millisecond away from getting his hands on Kirk Cousins, but not enough there. Quick throw out of the I formation on 1st and 10 to Justin Jefferson over to the left side. He picks it up for maybe 5 yards. Carlton Davis knocks him out of bounds. Second and 6 now. Clock still rolling. 8.5 minutes left to go in this first half of play. Kevin O'Connell talking things over with Kirk Cousins. 10 seconds left to go on the play clock now. Cousins out there out of the shotgun. Running back to his left. Believe that's C.J. Ham in the game. Here's the snap. Play action. Inside handoff. That's Alexander Madison, the running back position. Picks up maybe 2 or 3 yards on 2nd down. He'll make it 3rd and short. Still trying to figure out what kind of team we are, says Enoch. I definitely agree with you. It's interesting because this defense looks a little bit better than I thought they would, and the offense is a lot worse than everyone thought they were going to be. Big 3rd and 1 now. I formation. Cousins takes the snap, looking to pass, pressure coming, fires over the middle, finds Justin Jefferson, who's wide open, and he gets pushed out of bounds, but not before being chased down. He'll pick up the 1st and 10. Excuse me. He'll pick up the 1st down for Minnesota. And it's a crossing route all over man coverage, and the Bucs just can't keep up. That's Carlton Davis in coverage. Him and Ryan Neal just left in the dust there. Five catches for 90 yards for Justin Jefferson. Under center is Cousins. Play action rollout on 1st and 10. Finds his tight end to the left side, who gets the 1st down and pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. That's Oliver, number 84. 1st and goal now for Minnesota as they are driving. Jamel Dean was in coverage and just did not do that great of a job. First and goal now. Cousins under center, single back look. It's play action again, looking for the end zone. Fires, looking for KJ Osborne, and that pass will go incomplete. Antoine Winfield Jr. mans up in coverage and makes the play. It seems like the entire stadium wants a flag for a defensive pass interference, and they're not going to get it, so it'll bring up second and goal. Second and goal. Kirk Cousins out of the shotgun now. Osborne in motion. Jumbo set. Takes the snap. Inside handoff to Madison, who is met and dropped at the line of scrimmage. William Golston and Mike Green, the defensive linemen all over him, as the first wave of tacklers are able to bring him down. And Will Golston, as we remember, a late offseason addition. He didn't sign until after training camp had basically started, and then he got all of his work catching back up with the team over the course of those 3 preseason games. He played a lot of snaps for a 10-year veteran. Third and goal, empty backfield now for Kirk Cousins. Madison, the man in motion, running back on his hip now. Cousins takes the snap, pressure coming, has time, pump fakes, fires to the corner of the end zone. Pass is incomplete. Was looking for Jordan Addison, but Jamel Dean locked him down in coverage. So Minnesota will not come away with the touchdown they were hoping for. They'll bring out the field goal unit. Huge red zone stop by the Buccaneers defense right there. Cannot be understated, guys. If there's ever a time to step up and make a stop, it's right there, because 7 points would have made this a 2-possession game. Greg Joseph, the kicker now from 25 yards away. Center hash. Kick is up and right down the middle. So it's 3 points for Minnesota on that raucous drive, and it'll make it a 7-point game as the Buccaneers offense will come back on the field. 10-3 now, your score. 5:41 left to go in the first half of this game. Everyone talking about bringing in Shedeur Sanders and prime time. I feel like he's going to be at Colorado for at least a couple of seasons. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. But hard to not be excited about what Deion's doing up there with the Buffaloes, man. I want to jump in the transfer portal and go play for Deion at this point. The defense can't keep it up. Offensive has to make a drive before the half. I think the Bucs are going to have to control the ball right here. If they want to show me anything at all, if they want to show me they're capable of doing anything at all today on the offensive side of the ball, I just need to see a couple of first downs. Run the clock down. You know, like, even if you don't come away with a touchdown here and you can somehow make it 3 points, any points are good points in a game like this because it's going to be a struggle, but I just need to see something because, I mean, as you guys have clearly talked about and seen and heard, we haven't seen anything. Next to nothing. You know, the biggest first down of the day was taken off of the field because of Minnesota throwing the challenge flag. So we'll see what they can do in a high-pressure situation now, trailing more than they were before. 1st and 10 now under center. Rachaad White at running back. Baker making some adjustments here from under center. 1st and 10. It's going to be an inside handoff to Rachaad White, who fights his way forward for a little over 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and short. Second and 5 now for the Bucs. Clock ticking right around 5 minutes. Baker empty backfield. Takes the snap. Has time. Steps up in the pocket. Fires to the left side and cannot hang on. That's Trey Palmer, his first target of the day. 3rd and 5. 5 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the second quarter, and this is a big 3rd down for the Bucs. Empty backfield for Baker Mayfield. Evans and Godwin bunched up on the left side. Baker takes the snap on 3rd and 5. Pressure coming from the blitz. Gets away from a tackler. Fires it away, and that'll go out of bounds. Somehow, nobody was able to get a hold of Baker Mayfield there. He stayed on his feet, but could not find a target, and another 3 and out for this Buccaneers offense. Baker has just yet to settle in. I mean, it's hard to settle in on a play like that when you've got pressure coming from both sides. Minnesota very clearly sent the house, but there haven't been a lot of throws today where Baker looks comfortable in the pocket, navigating through his reads and getting the ball out. It just has not been there at all for him today. Here's Camardo with another big kick. This will be fielded at the 10-yard line. His best punt today. And that's Hayes, number 32, able to wrap up the returner pretty much immediately. 59-yard punt. Yeah, that was a great punt, man. At least we got one of the best punters in the game. If he's going to be the busiest player on the field, then may as well be the best. So far today, the Buccaneers have 1 first down. They are 0 for 6 on 3rd down and only 35 yards of offense. Not great. Here is an inside handoff to the running back for Minnesota on 1st down. Devin White able to wrap him up there with Shaq Barrett. It's a gain of 1. Four and a half minutes left to go in the second quarter of play on 2nd and 9 now. Kirk Cousins under center, 32, the running back. Takes the snap. It's play action. He'll roll out to the right side. Has time. He'll be chased to the line of scrimmage. Fires to his tight end, Hawkinson, who makes the catch. But there's nowhere to go. Shaq Barrett brings him down right there at the line of scrimmage. Thank you for the scoreboard reminder. I don't know why it does that. It used to not be bad at, tracking the game, and now I guess it just is. Sorry about that, guys. 3rd down and 7 inside 4 minutes left to go in this first half of play. Cousins out of the shotgun, 3 for 5 passing on 3rd down so far today. Bucs showing blitz, and they will blitz. Here comes the pressure. Cousins has time, fires to the left side, and that's KJ Osborne who makes the catch. But is it a catch? The Bucs may want to throw the challenge flag here if it's not ruled incomplete, which I think it was. Kevin O'Connell already grabbing the red challenge flag here. But they're not going to throw it. They just bring out the special teams unit on 4th and 1, so it'll be ruled incomplete, and it'll stay incomplete. And obviously showing the lack of faith they have in Tampa Bay's offense, electing not to use any timeouts. The Vikings still have 3, and they'll punt it away with 2:44 left to go. Clock still running. Devin Tompkins. Devin Tompkins counted 11. So Devin Tompkins was counted. There was confusion on that punt return. Sorry, I didn't mean to get quiet, but Devin Tompkins was counting the number of guys on the field, thought there was 11, and went to run off of the field, but didn't. But there's no flag, so I guess we're fine. Baker Mayfield under center on 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Takes the snap. Hands it off to Rachaad White, looking left, and he'll go nowhere. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 1. And the Bucs are trying some of that outside zone, running to the left side, trying to get some lead blockers, and there's just nothing doing there. Nothing at all. 34 yards of total offense today through 6 drives. Baker out of the shotgun. Rachaad White still in the game. Inside handoff to White, who makes a move, but not for very much. He'll pick up maybe 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down. Score update on the MLB side of things from our buddy Getting Jiggy with it. Rays up over the Mariners 5-2. Hopefully they can finish it. I know they beat Seattle on a walk-off yesterday, so that was exciting. I think it was Randy Arozarena, if I'm not mistaken. Walford, I think, is still very underrated, says Brandon Tampa fan. He definitely has the experience and still on the roster. Go Buck says, Brady couldn't do it without blocking. I'm upset fans wanted the coaches gone who finally turned Tampa Bay around. This is the worst in history. I've been a fan of worst in history. I think you mean like you've been a fan of worst Bucs fans in history or Buck teams in history, which I totally agree with. There probably have been worse Bucs teams in history, but it's a long season. We have 17 more weeks to see what this team is ultimately going to finish the year looking like. We have seen worse performances in week 1 from Tampa Bay. Let's not forget. How can you say we have seen worse performances when we only have maybe 40 yards? Believe it or not, there have probably been worse week 1 performances in Tampa Bay history. Tampa playing like the old Bucs, too conservative and willing to lose, says Angel. That's the loser mentality that you kind of hope doesn't sneak in with this team, because if we talk about Bucs teams of the past, there have been some teams. I mean, hell, there were even some Bucs teams who had that mentality when Tom Brady was here. Let's not talk about 2022, where Mike Evans said that the entire sideline was deflated after he dropped that pass in Carolina against the Panthers on the 3rd play from scrimmage. And after that, it was like the whole team had checked out. You know, I think a big difference between obviously this team and maybe the Bucs team last year compared to the Super Bowl teams like 2020, and even though it didn't result in a championship, 2021, where they won 13 games, those Bucs felt like they could beat anybody. And even if they were down like they are now, they felt like they could beat anyone. And problem with some of the Bucs teams in the past is that feeling of vulnerability where they start to accept their fate. And I hope that complacency isn't something that we see as an issue, because this coaching staff with Todd Bowles should have enough experience to recognize that and maybe put a stop to it. But we also know Todd Bowles doesn't have the best history or track record as a head coach, as a lot of people like to bring up. So, again, it is week 1. A lot of things left to be determined. A positive call for the Bucs there, a neutral zone infraction on 3rd and 7 will put them a little bit closer to the conversion point. 0 for 6 on 3rd down conversions today from the 2-minute warning. It is now 3rd and 2. Baker out of the shotgun takes the snap, fires to the right side, and that pass is caught for a 1st down. Chris Godwin. The first 3rd down conversion for the Buccaneers today goes to Chris Godwin, and they'll hurry up. Here's Baker out of the shotgun now from the 40. Takes the snap. Pressure coming. Steps up in the pocket. Fires to the left side of the field. Finds Mike Evans for his first catch of the day. He'll pick up about 8 yards and bring up 2nd and short for Tampa Bay. How about Mike Evans? Out of the shotgun now from the 30-yard line. 2nd and 1. Inside handoff to Rachaad White. Makes a move and fights ahead. Crosses the 1st yard line to gain. And he'll move the chains for the Buccaneers. First and 10. Bucs are going to hurry up back to the line, running with some tempo here. Baker out of the shotgun, takes the snap, fires downfield, and Devin Tompkins, the intended receiver, could not reel that one in. And that's the linebacker, Middleist, number 44, barely gets a hand on it, just enough to disrupt the flow of that pass. And Tompkins hits him in the chest, but he cannot bring it in. Have to catch that one. Hit him in the chest. He has to catch it. Second and 10 now from the 28. Baker out of the shotgun, takes the snap, has time, looking, fires to the end zone. Mike Evans, touchdown Tampa Bay. Fire the cannons. Mike Evans gets your first Tampa Bay Buccaneers touchdown of 2023. And how about that? Mike Evans just cuts everybody up on that route. Oh, and immediately ran off of the field. Oh man, I don't like the way that looked. I don't want to grasp at straws here, but Mike Evans didn't celebrate with anyone. He caught that touchdown, ignored everyone, and ran right back to the bench. So I'm sure that that'll be talked about this week. But fire the cannons. We have got our first touchdown of the year. Baker Mayfield to Mike Evans ties up this game. It is now 10-10. I told you guys I'd show you the dog. For firing the cannons. Come here, puppy dog. Come here, Scout. It's our touchdown pup. Very tired. I just woke her up from a nap, so she is a little sleepy. But we'll still wake up for a Mike Evans touchdown. First Mike Evans touchdown in 8 months, man. How about that? You love to see that guy right there in the end zone. Big number 13. I love it. I will get the scoreboard updated for you. Sorry that I have to manually do that. I apologize. Here we go. All right, should be up to date now. 10-10 ball game. 109 left to go in the first half of this game. The PAT by McLaughlin is up and good, but they haven't updated the Google scoreboard for some reason, even though the time is correct. That's odd. Bucs ready to kick this one away. Following the touchdown, Camarda's out there and boots this one into the end zone. It'll bounce out of the back for a touchback. 28 yards. 28-yard touchdown. The first touchdown of the year from Baker Mayfield to Mike Evans. And the Bucs have tied it up. Curious to see how aggressive the Vikings decide to get here. 109 left to go. They still have all 3 timeouts. So if they want to, run the 2-minute drill here and get aggressive, they certainly have the resources to do so. Kirk Cousins out of the shotgun now with a tight end in motion. He'll take the snap, looking to pass, has time, fires to the right sideline. Oh, man. Good coverage by Carlton Davis. Jefferson just cannot bring it in. That was one of those circus catches that was almost intercepted if it got away from him. Antoine Winfield Jr. was right on top of Jefferson, who was trying to make a play at the sideline. .104 left to go in the first half. Minnesota on 2nd and 10. Cousins out of the shotgun, takes the snap. Quick pass to the right side, finds Jefferson, who makes the catch, and he'll be forced out of bounds after picking up maybe 4 or 5 yards. Third down with a minute left to go in the second quarter. Carlton Davis on coverage there. Great job of keeping the play in front of him and forcing Jefferson out of bounds. 3rd and 4 now. Yes, it is, Buck Wild. I don't know why my scoreboard has not updated. After this play, I will. 3rd and 4 now. Big third down for Minnesota, trying to keep this drive alive. Cousins takes the snap. Pressure coming. Bucs will blitz, and he finds Hawkinson for the first down. He slides and keeps the clock moving. But Kevin O'Connell, I think, will use their first charge timeout. So that'll be a stoppage of play at 54 seconds following the fresh set of downs for Minnesota. First and 10 now out of the shotgun. 54 seconds left to go following that timeout. Bucs showing blitz. They will bring the pressure. Cousins steps up in the pocket, fires over midfield, finds Justin Jefferson, who is wide ass open yet again. Ball came out. I think they're just going to rule that he is down. Clock still rolling. It's a gain of 42 for Minnesota. 33 seconds left to go as they try to hurry up and spike this football right around the 20-yard line. Nope, they're going to run a play. Kirk Cousins under center. Quick pass to KJ Osborne, who makes the catch. And he'll be brought down just shy of the first down marker. That's Jordan Addison, excuse me, not KJ Osborne. My mistake. Yeah, Justin Jefferson does not get any more wide open than that. And Antoine Winfield Jr. barely made that play. The Bucs couldn't challenge that fumble because it's the last 2 minutes, so all booth reviews are because of the officials who call it. So the Vikings get another play off quickly, and it'll be 2nd and 1 now. 23 seconds left to go. Only one timeout left to go for Minnesota. So I have to assume they're just going to take a couple of shots at the end zone or play for the short first down. 2nd and 1. Quick pass. Cousins pump fakes over the middle. Finds his man. Intercepted. Buccaneers come away with the football. Christian Izien from the nickel quarterback spot. It looked like a touchdown catch. Next thing you know, Christian Izien comes up with the huge play, and the Buccaneers will get another red zone stop and their third turnover of the day, just in the nick of time. Playmakers make plays. How about that? Looking for KJ Osborne on the quick pass was Cousins, in and out of his hands, and Izien, who was already playing coverage just to try and tackle, winds up with the football in his hands, and he returns it a good 15 yards for Tampa Bay. How about that? Ryan Neal and Christian Izien playing spoiler for the Vikings offense late in that drive. What a play. What a play. Christian Izien, who basically had to earn that starting nickel back job. 1st and 10 now. Baker out of the shotgun. Bucs take the snap. Inside handoff. That goes to Chase Edmonds. His first carry of the day will be the final play of the first half. Oh, Cousins is pissed on the sideline. That's the most animated I've ever seen Kirk Cousins. Slamming his hands on the bench, yelling at people. He knows it's a big season for him, but it's also a big season for the Bucs, and they keep this game right where it is. 10-10, your score. We got a tie football game headed into the half. How about that, folks? So the Buccaneers will receive the second half kickoff. The offense will get an opportunity to put the Bucs back on top of this game, a lead they have not had since they were up 3-0. How about that? Yeah, Christian Izien just mugged that ball away from KJ Osborne. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, have you ever played NFL Street and used the gimme that technique? That's exactly what happened right there. All right, it is halftime, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time with the chat. But before I do that, I am going to refill my water bottle because we are running dry. And I'm going to give you guys another look at this awesome game preview that was put together by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers social media staff. So I will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Anytime you go on the road, it's a special opportunity, especially in that environment.
It's Baker freaking Mayfield. He's the #1 difference maker in the NFL.
He's playing with Michael Lynn Evans III, an area code receiver that catches anything in the area code. Levante David, he got instincts.
He's basically the true vet here.
He fumbles a right after Levante David.
Darnold pressure and he is dropped. Antoine Winfield. Hurts throws and it's intercepted.
You better hold it down. These boys can't mess with us.
Baker Mayfield looking Baker throws toward Godwin. Clock, touchdown Tampa Bay.
John White is the back. He'll go airborne and in for the touchdown.
All right, we're back. Some halftime coverage for you. A tie football game in Minnesota, 10-10 for both of these teams in a pretty competitive first half. A lack of offense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is obviously what's going to be the most talked about, but I think the underrated storyline here is obviously how dominant this defense has been week one against a pretty stout Minnesota offense. Every time the Vikings have started driving, aside from the one touchdown, the Bucs have had an answer, and an answer in turnovers, which is much better than a stop is going to get you. Sets up your offense with much better field position, and it's just more positive points for how these guys are playing. Christian Izien, I got to say, hats off to that guy. I mean, we were just showing him some love after making that play at the end of that first half, but this is a guy that earned his roster spot, stepping up and making plays for the team week one. It does not get any better than that. But how are we feeling, folks? I know it wasn't the most positive of reviews, and I know it's not the best we have ever felt after a first half of football, but the defense certainly looks good. I think we can all agree on that. Victor Lopez says, Baker is straight trash. He wasn't on 4 teams for nothing. Nate says, tell me again why we haven't renewed Mike Evans' contract. George, surprisingly, Cleveland is up on Cincinnati 10-0. Well, surprisingly, I picked the Bengals to win this week. So that's just, again, that's the magic of my sports picks doing their thing, man. I mean, I would not be surprised if I went like 0-12 on all my picks this week. Crippled 01, defense is keeping us alive after playing good and making plays. Christian Izien could get the game ball. I agree, Bat W. Hit the likes, people, says Jason. I also agree with that. Make sure you leave a thumbs up for more great Buccaneers content. 264 people watching and only 30-something thumbs up. The math is not mathin'. Well, I got 129 as of my latest refresh, but still not enough. Let's leave a thumbs up for more great Bucs content. And don't forget, after the game, right here, youtube.com/Cannon Podcast, I will be live with my co-host Evan Wanish, who you may have seen on the MrBucsNation channel. We will be joined by our good buddy Gene Thomas from Buck What You Heard, and we will be taking your phone calls, talking about all things from the Buccaneers Week 1 game against the Minnesota Vikings, the best and worst of Baker Mayfield so far, and the rest of this Bucs roster. So subscribe to the Cannon Fire Podcast if you would like to be notified for whenever that goes up, because that's, I mean, it's literally going to be within 10 minutes of the game being over. The zone defense gives up too many big-time plays, is way too elite gaming. Yeah, it's been a rough day, but it's hard to play zone defense against a guy like Justin Jefferson because he's going to cut you up every time. Joe Burrow today, 6 for 14 for 36 yards. Is Baker better than Burrow? Of course, Joe Burrow's playing like that because I got him in fantasy. Deshaun Watson with a rushing touchdown in that game. I'm watching the highlights of Cleveland-Cincinnati right now. Steelers and Niners. I picked the Niners this week, and it looks like that pick is coming to fruition. 20-6. Brock Purdy and the San Francisco faithful up big on the road over Pittsburgh. The Texans and the Ravens. Touchdown pass to Zay Jones. All right, if we were having some trouble with the stream, let me know. I think we should be back. It showed me on my end that we dropped a couple of frames. Hopefully you guys are still here. Sorry about that. Bryce Young playing against the Falcons has got the Panthers up 10-7 at the half. over Desmond Ridder in the Atlanta Falcons. A quick touchdown pass on the play action concept. It was tight end Hayden Hurst. I forgot he was in Carolina. All right, glad to see we're good now. Okay, this is happening during halftime, but for some reason, it always seems to happen. Oh. It always seems to happen a couple of the stream. Luckily, we have the rest of halftime. You are right, Greg. We should have Frontier, but we do not. We have Spectrum in this house, and I told my roommate that, listen, I'll pay the price difference. Like, if we got to, start paying a little more for some better internet around here, I will. But unfortunately, we've got we've got the Spectrum plan. I mean, Spectrum, Frontier, it's all garbage, to be honest with you. It all sucks. Ever since they changed it from Verizon and Bright House, it seems like the quality went down. I had a DirecTV stream and Frontier and have never had a problem. Yeah, I paid for really good Frontier internet at my old apartment, but just didn't get it set up in time here. I'm up north in Odessa, so I'm limited with what is out here. What about you? I am close to, I'm pretty much as close to Tampa as you can get. And it is what it is, I guess. Frontier, Spectrum, I hear people who have both complain about both. There's WoW internet, which I've never looked into. It's the cheap option, and it's cheap for a reason. I don't think we can get Time Warner. I think just recently, actually, we can get T-Mobile internet, which is really weird, but I pay Verizon for my phone, so I wouldn't bother getting it through T-Mobile or anything like that. I'm curious what people can actually get, though. I don't think I've looked at the whole list. I have AT&T Uverse and have no complaints. Limited here in Bartow, says Brandon Tampa fan. It's either Spectrum or Frontier, but we left Spectrum, and Frontier has been amazing. Yeah, Frontier seems to be the best option. I think Frontier is the best, internet speeds. They're known for that kind of stuff. I had Frontier when it was Verizon and it was badass, but when they sold their share in Florida, it went to S. Yeah, I used to like Frontier a lot, or Verizon a lot too. Like the Verizon Fios setup, all the on-demand. Man, back in the day, back before streaming, back when on-demand was your streaming, When I was a kid, I used to watch, I don't know if anyone in here is wrestling fans, but, back in the day, we didn't have the WWE network. There was a weird in-between period between home DVD and VHS releases up until now where you could watch a little bit of stuff on the internet, but you weren't finding 1080p clips of WWE in 2005 on YouTube. So they had WWE 24/7, which was a live service that you could pay extra for, and it would link up through your on-demand. We had Verizon Fios, so we used to have it. And it would be old pay-per-views, old matches, and it would be different every month, but it was a different slate of all this stuff, old live classic pay-per-views, whatever one they felt like showing that month. And you had this whole list you could watch, and then the next month it would refresh. So if you didn't have a certain show, you just had to wait until the next month. But WWE 24/7, man, that stuff was awesome. That's max nostalgia for me. Chuckle6210. James will be back. He will be back next week doing the live streams, and the week after that, and the week after that. He was just working today with the Rays and could not get the day off. Baker, 6 for 15, 63 yards, and a touchdown so far today. Definitely not what they thought he would look like 15 throws into this game, but we cannot discount the touchdown pass to Mike Evans, as that obviously keeps the Bucs in this game. So we are just a couple of moments away from the start of the third quarter. Tampa Bay set to receive the second half kickoff. So we'll get another look at Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers offense. Tiki Barber, Matt Ryan, and Andrew Catalan up in the booth for CBS. Matt Ryan making his broadcasting debut. Rick, can you tell us what happened with James working for Pewter Report? I remember he was so excited about it, and then I'd seen him make a post coming back like he left them. I think it was just the schedule, to be honest with you. I think there were some commitments that they needed him there for, that his other job was taking up a lot of time for. He can probably tell you better than I can, just because I don't know exactly the situation. But when I did talk to him, a lot of it came down to just schedule, availability, and without saying too much, I think he really does care a lot about what he's able to do for you guys on this channel, and I think that may have factored into it as well. But nothing but love for the Pewter Report guys. They were nothing but great to James, and he'll tell you the same thing. So we obviously wish them nothing but the best. But yeah, just mostly scheduling. I think he doesn't mention it enough that he does work for the Tampa Bay Rays, and like that's a full-time gig. Like he's usually working 45 to 50 hours a week for the Rays. So I can understand if he was, spread thin. Eric Yeager, thanks for your podcast from North Carolina. Thank you. Thank you for watching, bud. Mr. Greg, I found you guys like 3 seasons ago because of James. Thanks for that, Greg. I appreciate you sticking it out with us, obviously. We used to have James on the podcast all the time, and we still do, but obviously, Evan been taking up a bigger role in helping out with James' channel while he was away doing some full-time stuff with Pewter Report. But I really appreciate that. James, obviously, a really good friend of the podcast, so lucky to be able to help him out like I am today. Happy to be here. Thank you guys for having me. So the kick is up and away. Devin Tompkins back deep to return as this ball will float up and out of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. So Baker and the Bucs will take over deep out of their own territory, looking to get something rolling. We did get that Mike Evans touchdown in crunch time at the end of the first half, but you got to find something else you can do to keep this momentum going. And if the Bucs come away with points, they come away with the lead. So obviously they know. I used to listen to Tampa 2 Buck and the Pewtercast. Rest in peace, Pewtercast. Been a couple of seasons without those guys, but I do miss Brent and Ren. 1st and 10. Baker under the center, single back, Rachaad White in the game. It's going to be a handoff to the left side for Rachaad White, and more of the same. He'll get maybe a yard before he's wrapped up and dropped by one of those big Viking defensive linemen. Second and 8 now following the short run. Thanks for subbing, Buck Sky. We appreciate you, man. Cody Malk still in the game at right guard. Baker Mayfield under center on 2nd and 8. Single back is Rachaad White. Cade Otton, the man in motion. Jumbo set to the right side. Here is the snap and the handoff to Rachaad White, who fights ahead for a couple more yards. It'll be 3rd and manageable. Was Tampa 2 Buck? I don't know. It's been a minute since I've watched those guys, but I know Tampa 2 Buck and Bucko's Locker. Which one of those ones? Which one was the guy that used to start with a cigar after every win? I liked his videos a lot. I think that was Tampa 2 Buck, if I'm not mistaken. Either him or Bucko's Locker. It was one of the two. 3rd and 6 out of the shotgun. Pass caught by Mike Evans for a first down and more. Breaks a couple of tackles, but he'll fall his way forward for an extra couple of yards. And Mike Evans makes an appearance and moves the chains. Big time 3rd down play there. Just a quick slant route, and it's one-on-one coverage. If you've got a corner playing one-on-one off-ball coverage with Mike Evans, you can pretty much assume that ball's going to Mike. 4 receptions for 48 yards today for Big Mike, who checks himself out of the game. 1st and 10 back under center is Baker Mayfield. Cade Otton, the man in motion. Rachaad White in the backfield. Vikings bringing pressure. Play action. Baker doesn't have time. Tries to pitch it away to Rachaad White, and he does. Pass is caught. And way to make something out of nothing there. A good pickup of 6 to 7 yards by Rachaad White. That was just a heads-up shovel pass by Baker Mayfield. Minnesota brought the heat, pinned their ears back, and brought, 8 guys up to the line of scrimmage. Baker saw the pressure and just pitches it away just in the nick of time to Rachaad White, who is able to make a play on the left side. Improvisation right there in a scary situation turns into 8 yards for the Bucs. 2nd and 2. Baker Mayfield back under center. Chris Godwin, the man in motion. Mike Evans back on the field. Godwin in the slot. Here's the snap. Play action. Just kidding. Inside handoff to Chase Edmonds, who fights ahead for an impressive 5 yards. Gets the first down. It's funny because in a couple of situations today where I am full on expecting play action just because of the offensive formation and who they have in the game, I have been bamboozled. So safe to say I wouldn't make the best NFL linebacker if I'm, not doing a great job of dictating that. But a tough carry by Chase Edmonds. Sean Tucker in the game now at running back. Baker under center. On 1st and 10, 43 rushing yards for the Bucs so far today. Baker with a man in motion takes the snap. Play action now. He's going to find a Sean Tucker on the left side. It was a play action screen pass with a little fake jet sweep concept. There was a whole lot going on in that pre-snap. But it's only a pickup of a couple of yards. It is a complete pass, and the clock will continue to roll. 11 minutes left to go on 2nd down now for the Bucs. Second and 7. Baker under center yet again. Single back look. Sean Tucker still in the game. Now with a receiver in motion. Takes the snap. Play action. Rolls out to the left. Finds Cade Otton. Catches it and runs ahead for a first down and more. He'll be brought down around the 34-yard line of Minnesota. The Bucs keep this drive alive with another first down conversion. You'll love to see it. And Baker on the play action literally had a defender right there in front of him, so he had next to no time to get rid of that football. Luckily finds his target, and it's a big first down play. 10:20 left to go in the third quarter. Here comes Baker Mayfield and the Bucs. Sean Tucker in this game still. Baker out of the shotgun. Chris Godwin on his hip, now the man in motion, takes the snap. It's going to be an outside handoff to the right side going to Sean Tucker, who can't find much of anything, and he'll be brought down at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, Mariah, Minnesota blitzing a lot. This drive in particular, we know about the defensive style of Brian Flores, how he likes to take a page out of Todd Bowles' book and send the house quite a bit, but he is blitzing a lot on this drive as we are 8 plays in. Here's play number 9, 2nd and 9. Baker under center. Single back is Sean Tucker. Takes the snap. Inside handoff to Tucker, who finds a hole and fights ahead for about 5 yards. Another third down for Tampa Bay. Took them a full quarter and a half to convert their first third down of the day. They have done it multiple times on this drive, looking for another one on 3rd and 6. Baker out of the shotgun now. Empty backfield. Takes the snap. Pressure coming. Fires to the left side. Finds Devin Tompkins on a screen pass, who scrambles for the first down and then some. Looks like the Bucs are going to play tempo and hurry up to the line, but a big first down conversion right there from Devin Tompkins. Mike Evans with a critical block. First and 10, the clock will continue to roll. 8.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Baker out of the shotgun. Looks like Rachaad White back in the game. Mike Evans up on top of the screen. Keefe lined up out wide as well on the bottom. Here's the snap. Baker, quick pass to Mike Evans on a slant route. In and out of his hands. Cannot make the grab. Pretty sure that was the defensive back Evans who got a hand on it. Evans versus Evans in coverage there. Man. Yeah, you don't see that very often from Mike Evans. The slow-mo replay shows that Mike just wasn't ready for it. Hit him in the chest, and he cannot reel it in. 2nd and 10 now. Baker still out of the shotgun. Mike Evans, top of the screen. Chris Godwin lined up out wide on the bottom. Running back in motion. Baker takes the snap, pump fakes, fires over the middle, and that catch is made by Devin Tompkins. Pretty acrobatic catch nonetheless, but he'll pick up a couple of yards as it'll be 3rd and short. Yeah, Devin Tompkins kind of showing some shades of that Tyler Johnson catch in the 2020 playoffs against New Orleans. He had to change the entire direction of his body, but he does reel it in. 3rd and 8 now for the Bucs. Empty backfield. Three straight 3rd down conversions. The Bucs looking to make it 4 now. Baker takes the snap. Looking to pass, has time, steps up in the pocket, rolls to the right, fires, finds Cade Otton, who makes the catch, but he's not going to get the 1st down yardage as he'll be brought down a couple of yards shy. 4th and short. And it looks like Todd Bowles will send out the field goal unit, so the Bucs not going to risk it for the biscuit there. They will settle for a potential 3 points on the leg of Chase McLaughlin. So Chase McLaughlin already made one today from 36, looking to make his 2nd career field goal as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. From 31 yards out, the kick is up. It is good, so the Buccaneers will take back the lead in this game, but there is a flag. Oh, no. Looks like the offense is getting warmed up. If this is offsides on Minnesota... Oh, no. The Buccaneers offense will come back out onto the field, and it is now 1st down. Jay Ward, the safety, lines up offsides. Man, oh, man. How about a second chance from the football gods? Hand-delivered on a silver platter to Baker Mayfield and the Bucs. So 1st and goal situation now. 6:44 left to go in the 3rd quarter of this game. Tampa Bay, this drive continues. This will be play number 14. Rachaad White, the running back in the game. Baker Mayfield on 1st and goal. Checks it into a single back from the shotgun, so he'll go under center. Play clock rolling. Mike Evans at the bottom, Chris Godwin at the top. It's going to be a handoff to Rachaad White, who rumbles his way forward for maybe 2-3 yards. 2nd and goal. This clock will continue to go. Well, I meant oh no for Minnesota because that's the kind of week 1 error stuff that I have certainly seen the Bucs do for some other teams before. So lucky to see that it happens to someone else. 2nd and goal now. Huge red zone possession for Tampa Bay. Single back play action. Baker looking for Chris Godwin. He just cannot hook up. Vikings were all over that play. So if Godwin had even made the catch, he probably would have lost yardage. Yeah, it was a play action bootleg. Chris Godwin kind of running a drag route there. But they sniffed it out. Big 3rd down now for the Bucs, perhaps their biggest of the day. 3rd and goal. Baker Mayfield out of the shotgun. Minnesota showing blitz. They drop those guys back. Baker has time. Fires! Caught! Touchdown Tampa Bay! Trey Palmer! The rookie from Nebraska, 6th round draft pick. His first NFL touchdown in his first NFL game. A 7-yard touchdown reception from Baker Mayfield to Trey Palmer. What a play. And what a way for the offensive line to hold up right there. I got to say, hats off to Luke Gedeke, who did most of the dirty work rotating that pass rusher to the outside. Baker had a lot of time to work, and he made the most of it there. That is a touchdown. And barring this PAT, kick is up. The Buccaneers lead by 7. So they had 3 points before. They get the untimely penalty by Minnesota, another chance at the end zone, and they make the most of it with Baker Mayfield hooking up with Trey Palmer, his second passing touchdown of the day. Bucs on top 17-10 in the third quarter. What a play. How about that? Yeah, Palmer alert. Christian Izzian, first career interception, and rookie Trey Palmer, first career touchdown. You love to see it. A couple of young guys who fought and earned their spot on the roster. A couple of difference makers for this Buccaneers team week one. You love to see it. A 16-play, 75-yard touchdown drive for the Bucs. Took 9 minutes off of the board. That's what we needed, man. You want to control the clock, control the ball, and give your defense some time to refresh. I mean, 9 minutes off of the play clock. What more can you ask from your offense as far as, keeping your defense off of the field? That's a lot of time taken. Baker did look pretty good on that drive. Again, there was a couple moments where I'm worried like I was before. It still doesn't look like he's settled in 100%. You know what I mean? It's like he's 70% of the way there. There's some plays where he's just a little too jittery. And obviously the pressure by Minnesota gives him reason to feel that way, but he'll settle in. But so far, you got to like what you've seen. I know it's been lackluster, but no offensive turnovers yet for Tampa Bay. Joe Burrow, 7 for 18, 44 yards. Baker, 14 for 25, 121 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think we found our franchise quarterback, boys. Yeah, you got to like what you've seen from the offense. Slowly but surely coming together. We said it was going to take him a couple of drives to find that rhythm. And, 4 straight third down conversions on that last drive. They have certainly found some type of rhythm. Now, can they carry that rhythm the rest of the game? And maybe, I know you've already leaned on this defense for 3 turnovers today, but if they can cause a 4th turnover and that somehow ends up in points, oh, man, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty now, guys. Late third quarter, Bucs with a touchdown lead. 17-10 your score. This is a bit of an odd game, I will agree, but can't hate it. It has been fun. At least it's been fun, right? I know first half was a little slow, but we're competitive. We're staying in this game. And kind of low scoring so far, like a lot of the score predictions this week said. Not a lot of people picked the Bucs to score over 30 points this week. Not a lot of people picked the Vikings to score over 30 points this week. And as of right now, I don't want to speak too soon, but it doesn't quite look like they're going to do that. Don't let me speak too soon. We found our franchise quarterback after 3 quarters. Yeah, right, says Willie Beeman. It all depends on who you root for, man. It all depends on who you root for. All right, 1st and 10 now for Cousins and the Vikings. Back out on the field under center. Single back is Alexander Madison, who gets this first down carry. He'll fight his way into the pile and pick up a yard. Wow, first player with 250-plus passing yards and 3 turnovers since 2000. The last person to do that was Bucs legend Vinny Testaverde. So a record-setting day for Kirk Cousins so far, and maybe not in the best of ways. 2nd and 8 now following the 2-yard carry. Cousins out of the shotgun with a man in motion. Alexander Madison still the running back in this game. Takes the snap, fires to the left side, finds Justin Jefferson, who is wrapped up and dropped by the tag team of Ryan Neal and Levante David. He'll pick up maybe 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and short. Big third down for this Buccaneers defense. Cousins out of the shotgun, running back on his hip. Takes the snap. Bucs showing blitz. They bring the pressure. Cousins fires, finds his tight end, who makes the catch for a first down. That's Hawkinson. He'll be wrapped up and dropped right where he caught the ball. Out of the shotgun on 1st and 10. Vikings are going to hurry it up. Cousins takes the snap. Hand off to Madison, who makes a move, dodges a couple of tacklers, and may have just picked up the first down. Yeah, not great tackling on that one. Bucs had a couple of chances to bring him down, and they just simply could not. And it's a quick run up the middle. May have been a QB sneak. I think Kirk Cousins held on to the ball, and he will pick up the first down. First and 10 now for Minnesota. Still trailing 17-10. Bucs trying to hang on to this lead as time is ticking away here in the third quarter. 3.5 minutes left to go. Cousins back up under center, single back look. Takes a snap, play action, roll out to the right side, has tons of room. He fires downfield, finds his tight end yet again, who found a hole in that zone coverage. Nobody was around him. And it's an 18-yard gain. Josh Oliver, by the way, number 84, that tight end who's had a pretty busy day. 3 receptions for 32 yards. Kirk Cousins, 25 for 32, 304, and a touchdown with an interception. Out of the shotgun, KJ Osborne now on his hip, the man in motion. Cousins takes the snap, play fake, has time. Pressure collapses, and the Bucs are going to get there. Anthony Nelson, fresh off of that contract, comes up big with a sack for Tampa Bay. It'll bring up second down. Second and 16 now for Minnesota after that loss. Cousins out of the shotgun, empty backfield now. Madison lined up out wide. Bucs bringing the blitz. Quick pass out to Madison on the right side. It's a screen pass, runs into his offensive lineman, and big Mike Green, number 91, one of the new defensive line additions, able to wrap him up for a short gain. It'll be 3rd and 14 now. Third and 13 now, out of the shotgun. Addison still in the game, takes the snap. Cousins has time, fires to the left side, and finds a wide open Jordan Addison. Makes the catch right at the sticks, and I think they're going to give it to him. If I'm the Bucs, I'm throwing the challenge flag. What are you doing, Todd? The Bucs with all 3 timeouts are not going to challenge this play. Minnesota's going to hurry up to the line. That should not be a first down, but Todd Bowles has not reacted to it at all. Stone-faced Todd. Wow, 1st and 10. Vikings get a play off. It's play action pass. Cousins has pressure, fires over the middle, and that's going to hit the turf. Should have challenged that. Regardless, I mean, you can't convert on 3rd and 13. You cannot let them convert 3rd and 13, but you should have challenged it because they probably would have won. .52 seconds left to go in the third quarter, trailing 10-17. Minnesota now in Tampa Bay territory on 2nd and 10, looking to take advantage. Out of the shotgun, KJ Osborne, the man in motion. Cousins takes the snap, play action, and they're going to whistle this play dead. There's a flag. It's going to be a false start on the offense. Christian Darrisaw at the tackle position on that right side of the offensive line. They obviously had a critical penalty early for Minnesota and have been an issue ever since. Second and 15. Cousins, empty backfield, takes a shot, fires over the middle, finds Hawkinson. Levante David and Devin White arguing. Devin White letting Levante hear it. He missed that coverage, so he was responsible. Third and 1. Single back look for Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. Bucs. Can they make the stop here? Shaq Barrett standing in coverage of the extra lineman. It's an inside run, and he's going to break the plane. Looks like on the final play of the third quarter, they get that critical push they need to move the chains and keep possession of the ball deep in Tampa Bay territory. So we'll head into the fourth quarter. The Vikings with a chance to score, down at 7 points. Don't forget, as we enter this fourth and final quarter today, immediately following the game, myself, Evan Wanish, and Gene Thomas from Buck What You Heard, we are going to be live on the Cannon Fire Podcast YouTube channel, taking your calls, talking the best and the worst of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Minnesota Vikings Week 1. So we look forward to having you guys. Don't forget, right after the game, over on the Cannon Fire Podcast YouTube channel. So subscribe if you haven't, and make sure you turn on notifications so you will know the minute that we go live. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. Not the first time this season, because we've taken a couple of phone calls these last couple of weeks as we figured out how to use our new and improved phone system. But looking forward to hearing you guys talk about the Bucs again. You know, when the offseason is kind of where we are, it's a lot of speculation. Everyone has to talk about what they think this team will look like this year, or how we think this is going to look, or, you know, I think this is going to work. I think this is not going to work. But following a game, like following week 1 of the season, there is no more speculation. We can sit here and talk about what we saw today, and we certainly are going to have a lot to talk about, win, lose, or draw. So looking forward to that one. All right, here we go. Big first and goal now. Cousins out of the shotgun. Addison still in the game at running back. Cousins has time to throw. Has all day to throw. The Bucs aren't going to get anywhere close to him, but that pass, looking for running back Jordan Madison, goes up and out of the end zone. I know I've been saying Addison, Madison, and vice versa today, so I apologize. But yes, that is Jordan Madison. Or Alexander Madison, Jordan Addison. Alexander Madison, the running back. Jordan Addison, the wide receiver. All right, I'm not going to mess that up anymore. Incomplete pass now. Second and goal. Kirk Cousins under center. Play action. Play fake. He's going to keep it, and try to go for the end zone, but he's not going to get past Devin White, who makes him feel that one as he wraps him up and drops him. Third and goal. We got an injury on the field. Oh, no. Oh, no. Levante David down on the field, I guess, got caught up in the tackle with Devin White there. And they're not even going to show the replay. Oh, man. Already had a hell scare today with Devin White. Now Levante David potentially going down, the 10th year linebacker for the Bucs, who has obviously been the cornerstone of this defense for many, many years. Been the captain on that side of the ball, the play caller. So hopefully we get a positive update on him, but do not like the way that they transitioned to commercial there. Collided with Vita is what they say. Yeah, don't like to see that one bit. See, I wish I had a better idea of what happened to him because, again, like I said, CBS went straight to commercial without showing a replay, which led me to believe it wasn't good. After being leveled by friendly fire from teammate Vita Vea on a Kirk Cousins scramble, Levante David gets up after a short delay and slaps hands with Vita Vea. So we are in good shape. We got the official update from Scott Smith of Buccaneers.com. So it looks like Levante should be all good. Yeah, if he's jumping up and, dapping up Vita Vea, then hopefully he should be able to tough it out for the rest of the game. Even if he doesn't, and they want to be conservative about it, hopefully this isn't something that keeps him out multiple weeks, because that's been something that plagues the Bucs before. So Bucs Levante David taken off for concussion evaluation. So he did get evaluated. So not sure if he'll be back in immediately, but we do know that he was able to seemingly get up and walk over there under the tent just fine. So any more updates, we will let you know. Third and goal. Cousins out of the shotgun. Bucs sending a three-man front. Has time. Fires to the corner of the end zone. Overthrows his target. KJ Osborne. That's Christian Izien in coverage. And they're going to get a late flag. Pass interference against Tampa Bay on Christian Izien. Man. I don't know about that, buddy. I mean, he grabs him a little bit with that left hand, but he's just following him, kind of trying to follow the ball. I don't feel like he got too handsy there. I think that was a pathetic call, to be honest with you guys, but here it is. You got to make the most of these opportunities. First and goal on the 1-yard line. It's an I formation for Kirk Cousins. Hands the ball off, and Vita Vea wraps him up in the backfield. It's a 4-yard loss. 350 pounds of Polynesian power able to make the play. That's Vita Vea. Alexander Madison was the running back in, and he goes nowhere. How about big Vita Vea? Just completely bullied that right guard out of the way. Took that guy's lunch money. Empty backfield now. Kirk Cousins. Bucs showing blitz. They've got pressure on the line of scrimmage. They bring the house. Pass to Madison. It is caught. Christian Izien could not make the tackle, so Madison fights ahead and Despite the second effort at the goal line, he will find the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Oh, man. 4-yard touchdown reception for the running back. Yep, just bad tackling. Christian Izien in position to make that play. Cannot make the tackle. Has to rely on the second wave, and by then it's just too late. $16 plays, 75 yards for the Vikings. So they match the Bucs on yardage as far as proving that they can hang on to the football and possess it for a long time. Kick is up, and it is good. So that touchdown and PAT will tie this thing up in the fourth quarter. 17-17, your score in Minnesota. The Buccaneers offense with another chance to get this one going when we come back from this commercial break. Yeah, I got to say the officials came in clutch there for that call on Christian Izzy, and I'm not going to get too caught up on calls one way or the other, but that one definitely seemed like a little bit of a hometown favor. Oh, but who am I to say? Who am I to say? Can we hear your sound from the game? Unfortunately not. I think that'll get us that'll get the stream shut down for copyright reasons. Let me see how my fantasy teams are doing. Thursday night game was pretty good for me because, like I said, I had the stack between Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and it looks like I'm winning. Currently 46.82 to 32. Jared Goff got me 14. Amon-Ra St. Brown got me 16. T. Higgins has gotten me a big fat goose egg. Austin Eckler is yet to play. J.K. Dobbins got me 10 points today. Darren Waller is yet to play. Drake London has had one target for no catches, so he has 0 points for me today. So basically, I'm doing great, except for 2 out of my 3 wide receivers. And then Younghoe Koo, my kicker, is 6 points today. Can always count on him to nail it. And then let's check the other league. The other league, I got Joe Burrow as my starter, so I'm probably losing this game. Oh, no, I'm winning 49-39. But most of my team has played, so obviously not great. Joe Burrow has a whopping 2.22 points for me today. Joe Mixon has 9.9. T. Higgins, nothing. Chris Godwin, 5.4. David Njoku with Cleveland has 1.9. He's my backup tight end because I had to bench Travis Kelce this week. Travis Etienne Jr. has got me 8.2 points, 40 yards for him against Indy. James Conner has got me 8.5 points at the flex position. And the Saints defense with 2 interceptions has got me 13 points. So the Saints defense realistically is what's winning me this game right now. Doesn't look like any of my bench players are doing much better, except for Kirk Cousins, who has 16.2 points today against Tampa Bay. So he's going to do me a little bit better than Joe Burrow would have done, but oh well. Right, we could all agree Vita Vea needs a Chick-fil-A Polynesian sauce commercial deal. I can definitely see it. Mr. Greg, he got evaluated for a concussion. That's the last I heard, but Levante was able to get up, dap up Vita Vea after the friendly fire, and make his way to the tent. So I think he should be okay. Now, if he comes back in this game or not is the question. Devin Tompkins will let this kickoff go up and over his head. It'll be a touchback as the Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield look to take back over. 13.5 minutes left to go in this ball game. 17-7. Sorry about the scoreboard there. I know that that's annoying. Trust me, it annoys me when I have to do that too. But it is a tie game. 13:37 left to go. 1st and 10 now. Baker under center. Sean Tucker in the game at running back. O'Keefe the man in motion. Mike Evans lined up on the bottom of the screen. Chris Godwin the top. Here's the snap. Quick pass. Baker looking. Pump fakes. Finds Sean Tucker out of the backfield on the dump route. He'll pick up about 6 yards. Yeah, Baker going through his reads there and just finds Sean Tucker in the nick of time. Pressure came, but pretty impressive he was able to sit in there and see that one out. 2nd and 4. Baker single back look. Cade Otton, the man in motion. Sean Tucker still in the game. Cade Otton, the tight end, in motion from one side to the other. They're going to blitz. Takes the snap. It's a handoff to Sean Tucker running left, who breaks a tackle and falls forward. He should have the first down. They're going to give him enough for a first down, which is the right call there. It's a left side handoff to Sean Tucker, who has done a pretty good job so far of shaking and baking just enough on the left side to set up 2nd and manageable, 3rd and manageable. You haven't seen as much 3rd and 10 from the Bucs this year, and that's obviously a good thing. Out of the shotgun now on 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. Baker takes the snap. Inside handoff to Tucker. Finds a hole, but it'll be filled quickly by Vikings defensive linemen. That's big number 97, Phillips. So J.K. Dobbins questionable to return to Baltimore. It looks like they fear he might have a season-ending Achilles injury, which is obviously great news for my game today, but hopefully he heals up. Under center, Baker Mayfield takes the snap, play action, and that pass is going to be batted at the line of scrimmage. Not sure who got a hand on it, but Cade Otton wound up with it. That's Phillips, number 97, making a play again. He's been all over the place for that interior defensive line of Minnesota. All right, here we go. 3rd and 8. Empty backfield as Baker out of the shotgun. 5 seconds, play clock rolling. Baker trying to get these guys lined up. They're not going to get the snap off in time. They do. Low snap. Baker trying to make something out of nothing. They got the snap off in time, but I think they're going to throw the flag anyways. Todd Bowles went ahead and called a timeout. He saw what was happening there. This offense was not in a position to get the snap off in time. So he'll have to burn a timeout. 11:34 left to go in the game, and they have to use their first timeout of the half. Yeah, that's the inexperience of this team. Just kind of showing up in moments like that. You know, Baker's got to go up to the line of scrimmage and check everyone into what they're doing. I know it's a very loud stadium, and that's kind of what the Bucs were preparing for. I don't know if you guys saw, but they were piping in crowd noise and the skull chant to Buccaneers practice indoors last week. So they knew it was going to be loud, but unfortunately those guys didn't know what they were supposed to be doing before the snap, which led to the chaos that we saw. And luckily Todd Bowles able to get the timeout off, because even though they got the play off, it didn't look great. It was an incredibly low snap. Baker had to fight it from under his feet. Vikings pass rush is coming. They've been all over him. Thanks for watching, Amari. I appreciate it, man. We do the best we can. Yeah, good point, Adam. I just saw that highlight. Jags-Colts game getting crazy. It was a pretty insane scoop and score for DeForest Buckner. It was kind of a he knocked the ball loose, and I guess nobody on the field knew that it was a fumble except for a few people, so it was a delayed reaction, but ultimately 7 points for Indy. Back here, it's a big 3rd and 8 for the Bucs. Baker out of the shotgun. Vikings gonna blitz, showing pressure, making some checks at the line. Play clock ticking. Baker takes the snap, looking to pass on 3rd down, steps up in the pocket. There is a flag. He could keep it and scramble, but he's going to make the business decision and run out of bounds. We'll see if the flag is on Tampa Bay or Minnesota. Looks like it'll be the Bucs. Yep. It's going to be a holding call against Robert Hainsey, who was trying to deal with the rushing linebacker and can't do it without holding them up. So it'll be a nightmare 4th down situation for the Bucs. 4th and 5, 11:28 left to go in this game. Kirk Cousins warming up on the sideline, hoping for another chance to score as Jake Camarda, the 2nd-year punter, 5 punts today, averaging just over 50 yards, 53.2. This is his 6th kick, which is up and away. This is exactly what you need. Fielded, it'll bounce around the 5. Can they get a good bounce? And they do not make the special teams play in time. Looks like the Gunners were trying to get there. Zion McCollum wanted to bat it out of the end zone to Hayes, and it just didn't happen for him that way. I wonder how many Tom Brady unretired jokes are going to be made this year between commercials and the videos that he puts out and podcasts and all this stuff. It was a pretty funny commercial, though. I will say that. Well, the Vikings have a short week this week, too. They're playing Thursday Night Football, so they got the Bucs today and then the Eagles on Thursday. One of the things I had heard talked about from Vikings fans before the game is, are they going to look over a team like the Bucs in preparation for the Eagles? Are they going to look past that game this week? And clearly we seem to have our answer now, because this is much more competitive down the stretch. But definitely not ideal. And there's a look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Hall of Famers. Rondé Barber at his enshrinement ceremony this year, surrounded by Tony Dungy, Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, John Lynch. Rondé Barber, as we know, a part of the greatest defense in NFL history with the rest of those gentlemen that I just mentioned. Under center is Kirk Cousins on 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Play action, pressure coming. Anthony Nelson's all over him, and they complete the pass to Hawkinson. But Devin White will make the tackle and drop him for 4 or 5 yards. That's going to be a taunting call. I'm glad it wasn't. But that very well could have been a taunting call from Devin White as he got up and gave Hawkinson the John Cena, you can't see me deal. I think if the refs were really feeling it, or if they even remember that that was a rule, it probably would have been a taunting call. Anyway, 2nd and 13 out of the shotgun. Cousins takes the snap, looking to pass, steps up in the pocket, buying for time. He gets rid of it and finds KJ Osborne, who makes the catch, but he'll pick up maybe 2 or 3 yards as a swarm of Buccaneers defenders are there to bring him down. Kirk Cousins going to hurry up to the line here. Thank you, Buck Wild. I appreciate it, buddy. Here is Cousins on 3rd and 7 out of the shotgun. Fires deep downfield, and it's incomplete. Looking for KJ Osborne, but in and out of his hands. That was Jamel Dean and Levante David in coverage. It'll be 4th and 7. Yeah, Kirk Cousins, honestly, I think Osborne was open, but Kirk just overthrew that ball by just a hair. And Osborne not able to bring it in. Devin Tompkins back deep to receive. 2 punt returns today, averaging 6.5 yards per return. He'll field this one with a clean slate at the 23-yard line. Just kidding, as he gets absolutely annihilated by the gunner for Minnesota, so he will do no return on that one. So as it's all said and done, it's a 54-yard punt with no return for Tampa Bay. And we're back. Sorry about that. I may have to sneak off and refill my water here after the next commercial break. Update the scoreboard for you. About 10 minutes left to go in this game. 9:56 left to go in the fourth quarter. Give or take a few seconds. That's just what the most updated scoreboard says, but don't forget, folks, after the game, youtube.com/Cannon Fire Podcast, we will be live. Myself, Evan Wanish, and our good buddy Gene Thomas from Buck What You Heard. We're taking your phone calls, win, lose, or draw. Out of the shotgun, 10 minutes left to go in this game from the 23-yard line. Baker, Rashad White, the running back, takes the snap, looking to pass. Quick pass to the left side, finds Mike Evans, who makes the catch, but he'll be wrapped up by a couple of defenders, so it'll be a gain of maybe 4 yards. The clock will continue to roll now following that completion. 9.5 minutes left to go in this football game. 2nd and 4 following the 6-yard gain for Mike Evans. 4 receptions, 54 yards, and a touchdown for Big Mike today. Under center is Baker on 2nd and 4. Rashad White in the backfield. Chris Godwin, the man in motion in the slot now. And it's going to be an inside handoff to Rachaad White. He stutter steps, but fights his way ahead for about 3 yards. Should be 3rd and 1. Baker right up on the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 1 under center. Are they thinking sneak here? Rachaad White, the running back in the backfield. Jumbo set. Here's the snap. It's going to be an inside handoff to Rachaad White. He falls ahead for the 1st down yardage. So the Bucs will keep this drive alive as the clock continues to roll. No. They're going to spot him short. Todd, if any time is the time to use the challenge flag, I would like to think it's right here. But again, the Bucs are already a timeout short because they had to call one earlier due to the miscommunication on offense. So Todd Bowles going to finally throw the challenge flag, putting that 2nd timeout on the line for Tampa Bay in a tie football game. Oh. So yeah, I think it might be the right call to put him about a foot short. I think when his left leg hit the ground, he was about a foot short. I think this one might stand and the Bucs are going to lose a timeout. Which, again, begs the question, 8:18 left to go in this game. You still expect to get another shot on offense, but how much do you trust your defense after the way that they've played today? Do you want to put that pressure on them, Yeah, the right forearm was the first thing to hit the ground for Rachaad White, and that's what was short when he initially made contact. I don't think the Bucs are going to get aggressive and go for it on 4th. So the call will stand. The Bucs will lose a timeout on the challenge. And it'll bring up a critical 4th and 1. Looks like the Bucs have the offense on the field. They're going to buck up and go for it here. Have not taken a chance on 4th down up until this point, although they've had the opportunity to. The offense still on the field for Tampa Bay. Only 1 timeout left in their own territory. This feels risky. Everyone at the line of scrimmage. Here's the snap. Baker keeps it. That's a tough spot. That's a tough spot. They're going to have to bring out the chains. Yep. Oh! What? The referees don't even know what they're doing. He just pointed the wrong way, said Tampa Bay ball. So here comes the chain gang. So the head umpire, and he's got it. He's got it. 1st down, Tampa Bay. By half the nose of the football. Baker Mayfield on Todd Bowles' potential gutsiest 4th down call as head coach gets just enough yardage for them to rule it a 1st down. That is huge. The Buccaneers on their own 32-yard line would have obviously given Minnesota the best field position they could have asked for. They didn't get the Brady push because Baker Mayfield is not 6'5", but they do get enough to move the chains, and here come the Bucs on 1st and 10. They lost the challenge, the play before. They get a good spot to play after. Here's a quarterback draw on play action. Baker going to keep the football and run to the right side. He'll pick up about 4 yards. There's the aggressive Baker Mayfield talking some smack to the defensive back. Yeah, he got him with a stiff arm right there. He fought him all the way out of bounds, man. How about that? That's my quarterback. 2nd and 5. Good 5-yard pickup on the QB draw there. Here's Baker out of the shotgun. Rachaad White, the running back in the game. Trey Palmer out of the slot. Mike Evans lined up at the bottom of your screen. Here's the snap. Play action. Baker has time. Throws over the middle. Finds Chris Godwin. Pass is caught for a first down. And he'll be brought down right around midfield. It's a 16-yard pickup for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as they move the chains and keep this thing rolling. And Cleveland putting Cincinnati to work, 24-3 in that game. 6.5 minutes left to go. Baker out of the shotgun. Offset eye, takes the snap, pressure coming. Finds Mike Evans, who makes the catch and picks up about 5 yards. There was some blindside pressure, but Baker able to get the ball away quickly. Yeah, and they're talking about the confidence of Baker and the way that he's playing. It definitely looks like he's settled in a bit more than he did in the first 2 quarters of this game. You can tell he's starting to get warmed up here. 2nd and 4 out of the shotgun. Takes the snap. Play action. Has time. Fires towards the middle of the field. Mike Evans looking for a flag. Damn. Yeah, I think a lot of people would agree there should have been some sort of interference. But those are the calls that Mike Evans is going to get with Tom Brady in town, and unfortunately, he's not going to get those calls anymore. Big 3rd down now, 3rd and 4. Jumbo set to the right side. Baker out of the shotgun. Here's the snap. Play action. Has time. Throws to the right side. It's complete to Trey Palmer, who makes the catch but cannot get away from the 2 Viking defenders. Five and a half minutes left to go, and it's a tough decision to be made for Todd Bowles. Do you go for it on 4th down, or do you potentially take the 3 points? And it looks like we get our answer as Chase McLaughlin and the field goal unit will make their way onto the field. This is going to be upwards of 50 yards, and really the biggest reason the Bucs moved on from last year's kicker Ryan Suckup is because of his range. He was not a sure thing from outside 45 yards. Here is McLaughlin from 57 from the right hash. The Vikings are going to call a timeout. An attempt to ice up Chase McLaughlin, his longest kick attempt yet as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. And I know how a lot of people would feel rolling out Ryan Suckup for a 57-yarder. We wouldn't feel great, right? Well, let's see how this kid can do. Five minutes and 15 seconds left to go. The Buccaneers with only 1 timeout left. Looking for a big 3-point play on 4th and 3. A 57-yard field goal on the leg of their new kicker, Chase McLaughlin, who has already made 2 field goals today. From 57, the right hash. Here's the spot, the hold, the kick is up. Does he have enough? He does! Kick is good! From 57 yards, Chase McLaughlin with the big leg gets it right through the middle. Doesn't look like he would have made it from 60, but he certainly drilled it from 57, and that range is what we were talking about the Bucs just did not have last year. What a kick. How about that? How do we feel about our new kicker, Tampa Bay? Chase McLaughlin, 9 points already today, not including the point after touchdown. 3 big-time field goals that ultimately have the Bucs still in the lead for this game. And here's something else to consider. I know people were talking about getting aggressive on that 4th down play call. Todd Bowles has already done it a couple of times before. So getting aggressive on that 4th down play call, a lot of people think the Bucs should have gone for it and played for the touchdown. But I think another thing you have to consider, it's taken a long time for the offense to warm up. The defense has played great all game. So I think the faith that Todd Bowles and the rest of this Bucs team have in their defense right now in the last 5 minutes and 10 seconds of this game, they've already forced quite a few turnovers today. One more from a team that's been hot turning the ball over. I think they're holding out hope for a big defensive play here. They've had plenty, but I think Todd Bowles electing to take 3 points there just shows that he has a lot of faith in this defense and where they are right now. And this is crunch time. The Bucs trying to hang on to a 3-point lead in week 1 on the road. 5 minutes, 10 seconds left to go in this football game. Here comes Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. Under center, single back look. Alexander Madison, the running back. Jordan Jefferson, the man in motion. Here's the snap. Play action. It's a screen pass to Hawkinson, and he goes nowhere. Levante David is all over him. The Bucs snuff that one out. It'll be a big loss on 1st down. Creative play call, but between Anthony Nelson bringing the pressure and Levante David sitting right in the sweet spot, there was nowhere for the tight end to go. So the clock will roll. 4.5 minutes now left in this game on 2nd and 14. Empty backfield. Kirk Cousins back to pass, fires over the middle, finds Justin Jefferson out of the slot, who picks up about 6 yards. Levante David there on the tackle again. Third and 8. Out of the shotgun is Cousins. Takes the snap. Pressure coming. Fires to the right side. Almost intercepted by Carlton Davis. Came downhill to make a play on the football on a big 3rd down. And the Vikings will go 3 and out when they least need it to happen. It's now 4th and 8. Here comes the punt team. You're right. Let me update the score. I'm so sorry, guys. That's been slacking the entire live stream. And I don't have an excuse. So I appreciate the reminders in chat. Sorry about that. Couple of 1st downs here. Playing mistake-free is going to go a long way over the next 4 minutes and 3 seconds. The kick is up and away for Minnesota. Devin Tompkins fields it at the 15. Shakes a defender. Has a lot of room in front of him. Shakes another man, and he'll finally fall down at 32-yard line. Hit the spin move. Sorry, I had to catch up with myself. It may have sounded weird. But some positive yardage on the return is what you like to see. $16 yards on the punt return for Devin Tompkins right there. And the skull chants get louder in Minnesota as they know it is indeed crunch time. Here come the Bucs on 1st and 10. Under center is Baker Mayfield. Rachaad White, the closer. Godwin, the man in motion out of the slot. Here is the handoff. It's Rachaad White who fights his way forward for about 6 yards. There's a flag. It might be a face mask. Yeah. Personal foul, face mask on the defense. It's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic 1st down. Situations like this, late in the game where teams potentially shoot themselves in the foot, the Bucs need to be mistake-free. You have to be the cleaner team. Yeah, it's Lowry, number 94, the D lineman. Got a fistful of face mask from Rachaad White there. 3:47 left to go. The Bucs only 1 timeout, but in a position now where You just want to hang on to this ball as long as you possibly can. Baker Mayfield under center. Rachaad White still the running back. Chris Godwin lined up at the bottom of the screen. Mike Evans the top. Quick screen pass to Mike Evans on the right side. He makes the catch and falls ahead for about 7 yards. So it's a one-step drop and a toss to the right side for Mike Evans, picking up some positive yardage there for the Bucs. Not what they expected, I'm sure. So the Vikings will call their second timeout as they've only got one left. The Bucs need just a couple of more timeouts to potentially salt this thing away in the driver's seat with a 20-17 lead. Here comes Baker Mayfield back out onto the field for 2nd and 4. Big second down for the Bucs. Single back. Chris Godwin at the bottom of the screen. Mike Evans at the top. Here's the handoff to Rachaad White. Stutter step. Caught behind his offensive lineman, but the second effort does get him some positive yardage as he'll fight ahead for maybe 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and short. So Minnesota will use their final timeout. 3:39 left to go in this game. Big third down for the Bucs, perhaps their biggest third down of the day. A first down doesn't mean they win, but it certainly goes a long way towards helping them win because Minnesota has just used the last of their timeouts. Chris Godwin will come off of the field. Mike Evans is on the field. 3rd and 2. Baker Mayfield in the game. Mike Evans, the man in motion, lined up on the bottom of the screen. It's a jumbo set. Mike Evans, the only wide receiver on the field. Rachaad White. Here's the snap. Play action. Baker rolls to the right. Has time. He's going to keep it. And for the first down, Baker Mayfield gets it for Tampa Bay. On the quarterback keep, he breaks through the coverage, breaks the plane, and picks up the biggest first down of the day for Tampa Bay. How about that? Let my man bake. Should have been another face mask if we're being honest. Yeah, you're not wrong, Covina, man. But what a big first down. And what a way for Baker Mayfield to put the team on his back, just like Greg Jennings in a classic moment. 1st and 10 now. Minnesota out of timeouts, but the Bucs still not out of the clear just yet. Here's a handoff to Rachaad White on 1st and 10. He'll fight to the right side of the pile, and we got Danielle Hunter and David Wells, the rookie tight end, going at it. Let him cook. Let him cook. I don't know. I don't want to let him cook too much. If we start throwing the ball and getting cute. So far today for Baker, 20 for 33, 162 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Not too shabby in his Buccaneer debut, if I do say so myself. 2:18 left to go in this game. The clock's still running. This could be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Rachaad White in the backfield. Single back look. And it's a jet sweep. They're going to hand it to number 18. Doesn't go anywhere. The first time we've seen 18 today, and I know who that is. It's at the tip of my tongue. It's not Rakeem Grant. 18, guys. 18. Number 18. 18. 18. It's not David Moore. He's on the practice squad. No, it's not. Is it Rakeem Jarrett? Okay. Thank you. Rakeem Jarrett. Thank you, guys. Guardian Wolf is a quarterback right now. Baker Mayfield. Believe it or not, he played the entire game. Yeah, interesting that there was no call, Edwin, on that Baker tackle. It did seem a little violent. At the very least, it could have been a horse collar, but I don't know. Nothing to lose. Just take it. I agree. This is where good teams win the game. I mean, the Bucs have every reason possible to go out there and be able to win this game. No more timeouts for Minnesota. They just have to take care of the football. This is where good teams win football games. The tackle was around the neck area, but the quarterback is deemed to be a runner. Some people have a hard time believing it, Greg. I'm not here to lie or mislead anyone. I think some people were hoping we would see Kyle Trask at some point today, which seems like it would have been a worst case scenario if that were to happen. The down and distance, I believe, is 1st and 10 at the Minnesota 25, if I'm not mistaken. No, actually, not at the 25. The Bucs are right around midfield. They're not that far down yet. They are in Minnesota territory, though. They just picked up a crucial first down on a Baker Mayfield scramble, where he got aggressive like we've seen in the past, lowered the shoulder, and took the contact to move the chains. 3rd and 10 now. 2 minutes left to go. So this is it. No timeouts for Minnesota. 1 timeout left for Tampa Bay. 3rd and 10. Baker out of the shotgun. Rachaad White in the game. Mike Evans in the slot. Trey Palmer lined up on the bottom. Chris Godwin the top. Here's the snap. Baker out of the shotgun. Takes the snap. Has time, fires to the right side, finds Chris Godwin on the sideline. What a catch! First down, sideline catch from Chris Godwin. What a play. And that looks like the play, folks. I think that should do it. Inside 2 minutes left to go. Chris Godwin with an insane catch on the sideline. Gets himself down. Man, oh man. How about that? I think Chris Godwin's going to be Baker Mayfield's favorite target this year. I know Mike had some catches today, but that chemistry, man, that chemistry between Chris and Baker seems like it's building week after week. So we got a weird stoppage of play. The Bucs were lined up in the victory formation looking to knee this thing out. Baker takes the knee. The clock will continue to roll. But it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have pulled off the upset. 20-17 will be your final score from Minnesota as Baker Mayfield, Todd Bowles, Dave Canales, and the rest of the Bucs making their debuts today come in and win a high-pressure game. Oh, they got a guy in the stands. They made him take off his Vikings stuff and put on a Brady jersey. They're filming him. 1-0. What a start for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. On 2nd and 11, Baker in the victory formation will take another knee. And they're going to run this thing all the way out. But how about that, ladies and gentlemen? Huge game for the Bucs. Huge game. Huge game. 1-0. That's fantastic. How about that Buccaneers defense, huh? We can talk about Baker. We can talk about that game-winning drive, but I want to talk about this Buccaneers defense. What a game. What a game, ladies and gentlemen. The Bucs come into Minnesota, win it 20-17. Big-time players make big-time plays. Upset complete. Baker Mayfield and the Bucs going to Minnesota, and they make it happen, man. What a game. What a game. Folks, do not forget, here in just a few minutes, we are going to be live over on the Cannon Fire Podcast YouTube channel. Subscribe if you have not already. It'll be myself, joined by my co-host Evan Wanish, and our good buddy Gene Thomas from Buck What You Heard. We're going to be live with the Cannon Fire hotline on, and we'll be taking your phone calls. Come hang out with us. Come subscribe if you have not already. Thank you, folks, so much for letting me hang out with you guys this week. Filling in for my good buddy James Hill. He will be back next week, the week after that, and the week after that. So I appreciate you letting me take up some of your time on this Sunday afternoon, and fantastic that we could cap this off with an exciting Buccaneers win. 20-17 your final score. The Bucs are 1-0. Baker is 1-0 as the Buccaneers starting quarterback, and this defense is in fantastic shape. You got to feel good about where they are, especially week one. I mean, you got to feel good about where they are at this point in the season, but it is week one. And, they went out there and they forced all those turnovers. They played an awesome game. You can't ask for much more. Obviously, some stuff that needs to be fixed on the offensive side of the ball. Don't get me wrong. It was not a perfect game on that side of the ball by any means. But the Bucs are a leg up over any other division team that loses this week. And they are certainly winners of a game that not a lot of people picked them to win. So thank you guys once again for hanging out with us. Cannon Fire Podcast, youtube.com/Cannon Fire Podcast. Be there. We'll be live in a couple of minutes. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Let's play this one more time on the way out, and I'll talk to you here in a few minutes on the Cannon Fire Podcast YouTube channel. Go over there. Go do it. Go Bucs.
Anytime you go on the road, it's a special opportunity, especially in that environment.
It's Baker freaking Mayfield. He's the #1 difference maker in the NFL.
He's playing with Michael Lynn Evans III, an area code receiver that catches anything in the area code. Levante David, he got instincts.
He's basically the true vet here.
He fumbles a right after Levante David.
Darnold pressure, and he is dropped. Antoine Winfield. Hurts throws, and it's intercepted.
You better hold it down. These boys can't mess with us.
Baker Mayfield looking Mayfield goes toward Godwin. Caught. Touchdown Tampa Bay.
Chuck White is the